Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
At Balfour's first start in Reunion Arena, his 31st appearance, 17-8-2 with a 2.57 goals against average. Andy Moog, the veteran, gets the start. He's 11-9-4 and a 3.43 goals against average in 26 previous games.
And the officials for the game tonight, the referee is Don Koharski, the linesman Swede Knox, and Ryan Bozak.
Well, Sutter back behind the bench after missing a game to attend his mother-in-law's funeral. Paul Baxter and Rich Preston did the job in that particular game against Winnipeg. And Bob Gainey, 16-year veteran of the Montreal Canadiens. Well, a fine defensive left winger, has done an excellent job here with this Dallas team.
And whoever's in charge of the music in Reunion Arena played the theme for Rocky as the teams were getting ready for the opening draw, which now is shot into the Dallas zone. Hatcher hacks it up the far side. Dave Gagne looking for Gilchrist, but Graham able to pick it off. Much different starting lineup for Bob Gainey tonight than he had in Chicago Stadium the other night. Now the Hawks able to keep the puck in the Dallas zone, but not for long as Paul Broughton. And off the play, we have Lemieux grappling with Hatcher. And as Dale suggested, early discipline being handed out here by Don Koharski. Meanwhile, Chelios is wrestling with Gilchrist. You'll remember Chelios roughed him up late in the game. And now here they go. Chelios got in a couple of right hands, switches to the left. Brent Gilchrist got slapped around by Chelios at Chicago Stadium. Tries to get some revenge here, and he's getting the short end of the battle. Chelios landing another solid right. The linesmen are occupied elsewhere. Only Swede Knox is in the area. He has to wait for help as Hatcher is hurting his teammate here. Hatcher won't go to the penalty box. And Chelios is giving it to Gilchrist. Now Chelios has had his jersey pulled up over his head and off. And Chris Chelios gave Brent Gilchrist more than he bargained for there, as the linesmen finally come between them.
The initial altercation was between Lemieux and Hatcher, and that was going to be called right away. And then well away from that altercation in the corner to the right of Moog, that started in the neutral zone with Gilchrist and Chelios, and Gilchrist got worked over quite nicely by Chelios.
So in the first 11 seconds of the previous game, there were two fights, and now at the 25-second mark, a couple of simultaneous battles. And in Don Koharski's effort to set a tone early, as you suggested, Dale, he called some initial penalties deep in the Dallas zone, and there was all of a sudden, next thing you knew, there was a scuffle way out at center ice.
What took him so long? Well, in Chicago Stadium, the Stars started McKenzie on the left side, Churla on the right side with Evison at center. And before the game was 11 seconds old, he had two sets of wingers. And tonight, a different start. The Blackhawks start Roenick with Lemieux and Graham. And Bob Gainey countered with Gagne and Broughton.
The following penalties have been assessed. Chicago penalty on number 26, Jocelyn Lemieux, 2 minutes for roughing. Chicago penalty on number 7, Chris Chelios, 5 minutes for fighting. Dallas penalty on number 24, Mark Tenorti, 2 minutes for roughing. Dallas penalty on number 41, Brent Gilchrist, 5 minutes for fighting. Time of the penalties, 25 seconds.
So 5-minute fighting penalties to Chelios and Gilchrist, and roughing minors to Lemieux and Tenorti. And we'll have a face-off in the Dallas zone. Lost in all of that. The Blackhawks had Dallas pinned in their own end in the first shift of the game.
1:12 is the time of the first power play. It's already the 5th penalty. Stars finally scored in the power play in a loss against Quebec. They're 3 for their last 43 with the man advantage. They were 0 for 34 until they scored a power play goal against the Nordique in a loss. They're 15th in the league at 18% on the power play. 38 goals in 211 chances.
It comes to the near side. Graham jammed it loose to Smith, and Steve Smith clears it.
And they're 2 for 26 against the Blackhawks this year. Both these teams, surprisingly, are 2 for 26 with the man advantage.
Mike Modano comes flying to center. He hits the Hawk line in full stride. A backhander and a save by Belfour. Smith finally got a piece of Modano, and the backhander a fairly weak one. And now Churla crashing in behind the Hawk net. And we have a big gathering there.
Churla, well after the whistle came in, and there was no harm, no foul. He comes in and tries to stir it up well after the whistle on a power play.
And it appears Koharski might have seen the same thing you did. He's motioning for one of the Stars to come with him to the penalty box.
I think Churla will be sent off, and rightfully so. There's a poor play on Churla's part. The play was whistle dead. They're on a power play. He comes in after the whistle and starts to stir it up. Modano tried to split the defense. Backhand, weak backhand shot. Belfour makes the save, and then after the whistle, Churla comes in to hit Weinrich. So he takes his team out of a power play situation. A bad penalty, bad decision on his part.
Adding to his league leading penalty minute total, Shane Churla now at 175 penalty minutes for the year.
That is just a bad penalty in an important game. You know, I mean, what's the point?
So it's 4 skaters aside with a face-off in the center ice area. Here's the draw control by the Stars. Darian Hatcher gave it to Modano at center. Smith forcing him to turn deep into his own end. Now it's cleared to the far side. Hatcher over the Hawk line. Weinrich got to him there. Took him off the puck. Into the corner it goes. And Ruutu poked it loose to Steve Smith. Now Weinrich. Able to clear it to center ice. Stars Modano. Upped it back into his own end. Here's Russ Courtnall. Speedy winger gets it into the Hog zone. Courtnall leaving for Modano. Back to Courtnall into the corner. Turns in behind the net. Courtnall walks in front all alone. Centered it. Oh, and he made a bad pass as Modano. He had a better chance to shoot than Modano did. And Courtnall tried to make a play anyway. Here's Steve Smith starting the Hawks back. Smith gave it to Roenick over the Dallas line, weaving to the near point, then threw it to the late coming teammate, and it was deflected away back into the Chicago zone.
And Wilkinson was wide open, just couldn't handle the puck, overskated it, and cost himself a glorious scoring chance on the feed from Roenick.
Roenick puts Murphy into the Dallas zone, turns at the near point, pulled it up the boards, but Gagne steals. Then gave it right to Kuchera, who shoots, and it didn't get through. Bouncing back to the line, Frank Kuchera able to hold it in for Roenick in the corner. He's tied up along the boards, and Gagne comes to dig it out of there. Now the Hawk penalty's over, a very short, and advantage for Chicago here as the Stars are able to clear. And Kuchera starts out. Kuchera looks for Poulin. He couldn't hold the pass, and then it shot up into the Dallas bench.
It was a poor pass at his feet behind him, and he was unable to corral it, and that's a tough pass to pick up in the neutral zone when there's a defenseman looking right at you. 5 seconds left on this short power play. Their penalty killing was dominant in the game of New Year's Eve. They really are an aggressive penalty killing unit. That's why they're so successful. They're at 85.4% efficiency on the power play. And they've only given up 17. I should say, hold it. 17 goals while being short 112 times on home ice.
From the draw, the Dallas penalty expires, and now both teams are back at full strength. In the Dallas zone, here's a Graham steal for Goulet, shooting it, hit a leg. Aim to the near side, held into Graham behind the net. We got a bump there from Ludwig. They continue to grapple in the near corner. And Ludwig poked it loose. Back into the center ice area. Michel Goulet carries it back over the Dallas line. Left it for Graham, shooting, and a blocker saved by Moog. Rebound to the near side. And the Stars able to clear it to center. The Sheriff flipped it back in there. Ludwig. And he took a hit from Graham, who centered one, but the Hawks were in the midst of a change, and nobody was in the slot. Steve Smith took a hit as he cleared it to Weinrich over the line. A long wrist shot and a save by Moog. Who leads for Hatcher. Put around the boards. Trent Platt took a hit from Weinrich as he cleared it to center. Blackhawks dumping it back in there. On the far side, a delayed offside call is made as Rich Sutter touched the puck. With 5 minutes gone in a scoreless first period. Back in a moment on the Blackhawk Network.
No, not that one. That was a weak one, yeah. Yeah, this one. That one. Okay, well, they're ready to go. They'll save it for.
Face-off coming up in the neutral zone, and it's controlled by the Stars. Darian Hatcher able to battle his way to center and slide it into the Hawk zone. There's going to be a penalty coming up. And the Stars will head back to the power play.
I think Richie Sutter's going to get 2 for high sticking, a little aggressive with his hook. Got it up around the shoulders. And Richie Sutter better watch what he says. He'll get another 2 because Koharski, as we stated, is calling everything early, and he's done a good job. So Dallas will get a power play. It'll be their second power play.
He was allowed to get away with a couple of whacks as Hatcher battled his way to center. One whack, then a couple of hooks, and then Sutter gave him a face full of glove, and that was the penalty. So the Stars will head to the power play.
4:53 the time of the penalty, and the second power play for the Stars.
Draw is 1, and the Hawks, Weinrich, the automatic play, fires it around the boards and out. Ledger popped up to Graham, centering. Oh, and a good block of the pass. Otherwise, Brent Sutter was alone in front. Modano on the counter to Corton all over the line. Into the corner he goes, centered one, and hit a leg to Graham. And he fires it back the other way.
Tenorti saved a great scoring chance for the Hawks while short-handed. Graham picked it off and quickly put it up front, but Tenorti got enough of it to deflect it away from Brent Sutter.
Russ Courtnall gains the Hawk line, taken off the puck by Weinrich, and it's cleared back to the neutral zone. Mike Modano steps back in there. Had it knocked off his stick by Smith. And then Tenorti managed to keep it in for a moment, but the Hawks get Ruutu with a diving effort to clear it to center. Modano quickly back over the Chicago line, tees it up, fires. Belfour with a glove. Modano got all of that, and he's got a good shot to start with.
Belfour made it look easy that time. He saw it all the way, though it was an excellent shot. Modano can score from anywhere inside the line. He stopped, though, and it's a lot more difficult to get a lot on the shot when standing still, even though he has a tendency to shoot the puck on the fly. Gives it a little bit more velocity. Got all of that anyway, but Belfour with a good glove save. A minute left on the Sutter high sticking penalty in a scoreless first period. Not many scoring chances at either end. Few altercations early. But Koharski's done a good job of setting the tone early.
A minute to go on the Dallas power play. Face off to the left of the Blackhawk goal. And the draw to the Stars. In the deep slot, Cavallini shoots. Oh, it deflected just wide of the far post. Into the corner goes Smith. He took a big hit there from Craig, but the puck rolled right to Goulet. Michel Goulet gave it to Joe Murphy. He's going to waste a little time before clearing. 40 seconds left on the Dallas power play. No score with just under 6 minutes gone in the first. Here's a lead. Oh, Trent Klatt was behind everybody. But the pass just hopped over his stick at the Hawk line. Chelios shot it back to the Dallas zone. Cavallini laboring to center, now carries it over the Hawk line. Tried to center it, hit a leg, and winds up in the neutral zone. Dave Gagne cleared it ahead. Offside was Craig. He had not quite cleared the Chicago end. Hatcher and Chelios in a stare down, but Swede Knox gets there in a hurry. And no further developments.
Chelios just getting back on the ice after a 5-minute fighting penalty in Gilchrist, and it was a one-sided affair. Chelios worked him over quite well. Hatcher, a different story, much bigger guy and much better fighter. Hatcher is a big man.
He's had a fine year in terms at least of the plus minus. He's been even or plus in 31 out of the 40 games he's played for the Stars.
Got a message early in the season too. First game in here, he was scratched from the lineup. I think he sat out a couple in a row, and because he wasn't aggressive enough, taking advantage of his size.
Now both teams are at full strength as the Stars have to center ice. Here's Tenorti over the Hawk line, lets it go. It's blocked by Lemieux. Jocelyn Lemieux picked it up, but then lost the handle. Dean Evison walked out of the corner, cuts to the slot. A backhander deflected to Tenorti, and his shot didn't get through. Tenorti in there deep after it, tied up on the end boards nicely by Weinrich, and then the Hawks able to clear it to center ice. Ledyard fires a long one back in. Belfour gloves it and now decides to hang on. With 12.5 remaining in the first period, no score from Dallas on the Blackhawk Network.
Good penalty killing by the Blackhawks. The Stars with 2 power plays. Very few scoring chances for either club. Only 1 for the Blackhawks and maybe 2 at the most for Dallas. It's like 2 heavyweight fighters feeling each other out in the first rounds.
Here's the draw now, controlled by the Blackhawks. Neil Wilkinson got it to Roenick at center. Throwing it into the Dallas zone. Moog gave it away to Poulin, who centered in front. Here's a shot. Moog recovered to make the save on a glorious chance for Roenick. Moog got himself in trouble, but then recovered to scramble and make the save.
Patrick Poulin gets to the puck after Moog failed to clear, and he quickly put it out front. It bounced over his stick, and then he swatted at it, and it came to Poulin. He quickly put it out front, and Roenick let it go, but Moog, sliding from right to left, was able to stack the pads and get there to keep it a scoreless tie. His best save of the early going.
Jeremy Roenick Probably fighting it in terms of goal scoring more than we've ever seen in his still young career. 2 goals in the last 15 games for JR, but he's still scratching the score sheet. Only 9 times all season has JR been held without a point in the first half of the year. Here's the draw, controlled by the Stars. Cavallini shooting it in. He was short of center, and into the corner it goes. It's touched by the Hawks first. Icing is the result. Russell got a big bump as he touched that puck.
Good work by Russell to get there. Took a hit to get the icing call. An aggressive situation. McPhee is a big, tough winger, and Russell was able to get there. Russell and McPhee get into a bit of a shoving match, but the officials get there in a hurry, and so do some of the players to break it up. Courtnall held McPhee back, and Roenick was right there as well. 12 minutes to go here in the first period. No score. 5 shots for Dallas, 3 for the Blackhawks. Only 2 scoring chances for each team.
Face off to the right of Andy Moog. Controlled by the Stars. Mark Tenorti able to clear it out to center ice. Hawks throw it right back in there. Here's Grant Ledyard. Ledyard chipped it out to center ice. Bouncing around there. Neil Broughton sends it ahead, but right to Chelios. He hoists one back into the Dallas zone. Lemieux against Ledyard to the corner. They collide there. Courtnall in after it. Lemieux pushed him out of the way, digs it out. Lemieux, a backhand pass just outside the line. And the Hawks will have to regroup. Now Ledyard comes out of his own end. Gave it to Courtnall. Russ Courtnall over the Hawk line. Weaving to the far side, left it for Ludwig, who fired one up off the glass. Rebound to the near board. Smith tied up by Klatt, couldn't get it out. Now Chelios put it to the left wing boards. Here comes Goulet. He goes rink wide to Ruutu over the line. Ruutu takes a look, tried to center it, didn't get to the slot, and Klatt rolls it back to the Chicago line. 11 minutes remaining in a score. Here's a giveaway to Modano. He's in. Belfour, a great save as Weinrich tried to put it up over Modano's stick, but instead handed it right to him. And Belfour with a terrific stop to keep the game scoreless. Now Ludwig at the far point. Scooped it into the corner. Modano and Kuchera come together there. Now the Stars dig it out. Here's a scoring chance, and a man knocked down. Good defensive play by Kuchera preventing a shot. Weinrich out to Ruutu over the line. Back pass for Weinrich. Modano got back defensively to steal it and clear it to center ice. Craig and Kuchera battling hard on the near side. And Roenick comes to gather it in. Jeremy Roenick penetrates the Dallas zone, made a back pass. It's held in by Murphy to the backhand shoot, and it's saved by Moog. Rebound to the far corner. Murphy's on it, walks in front, centered one. Didn't get to Poulin at the near post. Stars look to clear, and they do get it back into the Hawk zone. Neil Wilkinson on feed to Roenick at center. Unable to advance it, bouncing around. Now Kane loose to Murphy over the line. He drops it to Wilkinson, moving in, shooting. And Moog made the save in traffic and held on. Now Roenick. It's hog tied by Hatcher. Now people start pushing and shoving. A face full of gloves for Russell from Hatcher. And Koharski will send them both off, I think.
Well, Hatcher should get a penalty for holding, but looks like only Russell's going to do it. Russell's going to get the only penalty. Well, he missed the one. He should have had the call on Hatcher. After the whistle, he hog ties Roenick, and he only calls Russell for coming in well after. Sure, Russell's the penalty, but so did Hatcher. And Roenick's over there to discuss it. Helmet off, knocked off in an arm wrestling, or hog tied by Hatcher, and so Dallas gets another power play. You're going to call one, you should call the other. Roenick right up the middle of the ice, carries it in, dropped it to Joe Murphy. Murphy goes to the backhand. Moog makes the save.
Chicago penalty on number 8, Cam Russell, 2 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalty, 10:38. Chicago penalty on number 8, Russell, 2 minutes
After
for
the whistle,
roughing.
it was Hatcher that did the damage to Russell, to Roenick. Russell came in well after, which is a penalty, but Hatcher should have gotten well before that.
So the Stars with a power play opportunity here.
Third of the period. Hawks have had one real brief one. Dallas's first one was cut short by a Churla penalty.
Now the draw, controlled by Gagne. Put it ahead to Madonna over the line. He ran out of time. Chelios got to him in a hurry. Puck rolled to Belfour. He scooped it to the near side, held in by Ledyard. Fires, deflected wide, then captured by Smith, who hacked it out to the neutral zone. Martin Ordi sends Evison over the Hawk line. Dean Evison had it poked away beautifully by Chelios to Graham. He clears. Now Ledyard. Roll it to the neutral zone. Chelios broke up another rush there. Ledyard now has it back. Looking for Evison. He'll have to dump it in. Chelios in the far corner. Took a hit, but he held the puck, cleared it ahead. Oh, and he had Grutu breaking its center, but the puck picked out of midair beautifully by Madonna. Mike Madonna over the Hawk line. Deep slot to Ledyard. Tees it up and shoots. Just missed the near post with a rocket. Chelios the rebound. Clearing.
What a play by Madonna. Great hand-eye coordination to pick that out of the air and allow the Stars to counter and get another chance on a shot from Ledyard.
Here comes Courtnall racing over the Hawk line. Put it far side. A shot and a save by Belfour. Almost coughed it up. McPhee was there, but Belfour put the mid on it to get a whistle before McPhee. And now the Hawks protecting their goaltender. It's in McPhee's face.
Eric Weinrich came in, turned around, had his back to him after the whistle, and McPhee gives him a shot after. And why he calls a penalty on Russell, we better call a penalty on McPhee here. Cam Russell was just sent off for the same thing McPhee just did. Ledyard with a quality scoring chance, 2 chances in a row with shots from the point.
Face off to the right of Ed Belfour. 8 minutes remaining in a scoreless first. Stars with half a minute still to go on a power play. Here's the draw. Flipped in behind the goal. McPhee just rammed Chelios' head into the end boards. Got away with it. Puck comes loose. And Brent Sutter able to clear it. All Cavallini. Had it stripped away by Graham, and the Hawks put it back behind the Dallas net. And that'll do it for the penalty. Both teams are at full strength. Here's a steal by Murphy. Turns in the offensive zone, got rid of a check. Murphy trying to move in. The second man got to him. Roenick holds it into the deep slot, centered it. Just too far for Murphy in front of the goal. At the far point, Chelios. Here's a long shot, deflected wide. There's going to be a Dallas penalty. And now as the Stars control, the whistle sounds, and the Blackhawks will get their first full power play chance of the game. No score with 7 minutes to go in the first on the Blackhawk Network.
Dallas penalty on number 2, Darian Hatcher, 2 minutes for elbowing. Time with penalty 12:55. Dallas penalty on number 2, Hatcher, 2 minutes for elbowing at 12:55.
Darian Hatcher for elbowing at 12:55, and the Blackhawks will go to the power play. At a brief power play for about 20 seconds in the early stages of the period. Now a chance to break the deadlock of scoreless tie here with 7:05 left in the first period.
Here's the draw to the Stars. They're able to clear. Told you earlier, Dallas's penalty killing has been great all year. It continues to be of late. They've given up just 4 of the last 33 against them.
You cannot be passive on the power play. They're very aggressive.
Roenick gets the line, put it to Murphy, who dropped it to Chelios, far point, the long shot. And then Moog made the glove save, played it to Ludwig, who's got plenty of time, and he clears it. Steve Smith. His pass deflecting deep into the Stars zone, and the Stars are there. They clear. Here comes Goulet, put Roenick over the line, cuts for the net, dropped it to Smith, centered Noonan, a shot, big save by Moog, rebound into the near corner. Noonan kicked it loose to Goulet, out to the line, Smith. Leaves it for Goulet at the near point, but his pass is picked off. Then he did well to keep it in. Goulet top of the ring, centered it, Roenick, waits, fan on the shot. Moog stopped it, in behind Noonan. Top of the ring to Chelios, centering it. It was kicked away from Roenick. Back to Chelios, there's going to be another Dallas penalty. Chelios in the far corner. Out to the line, it's held in by Smith, whose pass is picked off. And the whistle sounds, and a 2-man advantage for 35 seconds for Chicago's coming up.
2 beautiful chances for the Blackhawks. Nice passing. Goulet to Roenick to the point, back to Noonan. Noonan with a chance, and then Roenick's chance. Didn't get much on the shot, but still was a tough chance for Moog. Michel Goulet with a nice feed across to Roenick. Roenick had a chance to shoot, elected to pass it back. Smith with a touch pass to Noonan, and the one-timer by Noonan. Excellent save by Andy Moog. So a 2-man advantage for the Blackhawks. 35 seconds. Power play really let them down in their comeback attempt in the game against Dallas New Year's Eve. They had a 5-minute power play and a 2-man advantage in that game and failed to take advantage of both those situations. They need to do so tonight. Ledyard with a cheap shot. That's a cheap shot. That could possibly be a 5-minute penalty. You tell me that's not as bad as a spear. You jab a guy in the back of the leg, you can tear some damage, do some ligament damage in the back of a guy's leg.
That is something, though, that often goes undetected. You got to give Koharski credit for being on top of that particular situation. There's no doubt about it. That's an extremely dangerous move by Grant Ledyard. Now here's a draw. The Stars able to get it to center ice. Half a minute for a 2-man advantage. Chris Chelios gave it to Roenick up the right side. He carries it over the line, threw it across to the late-coming Weinrich. He dropped it deep, slots at Chelios, who waits, takes a look, tees it up, then put it to Weinrich. He tried to feed back to Chelios and missed him, but the Hawks able to hold in. Murphy far dot, top of the ring to Chelios, feeding Weinrich. They play catch. Chelios now shoots, he scores! The Blackhawks were on the perimeter forever, but Chelios finally just out-muscled Andy Moog with a bullet. Passed into the stick side, and the first penalty had not expired, so the Hawks will continue on the power play and lead 1-0.
You just need to capitalize on these chances. They weren't in good position on this 5-on-3. The 3 forwards were in deep across the front of the goal. Weinrich and Chelios playing pitch and catch at the top. Finally, Chelios had no one to give it to, decides to shoot, and he beat Andy Moog, who was leaning to his left. He might have been screened or it might have been redirected, but it's a 1-0 Blackhawk lead. The goal coming at 14:51. 7th goal of the year for Chelios.
And the Hawks continue now with a 1-man advantage. Here's the draw. Christian Rutu gets into the Dallas zone. Center Goulet cuts right into the backhander. Oh, the diving save, and Goulet hammered into the net, which comes off the moorings. Let's see.
That's a penalty. That's an automatic penalty. Hitting from behind. Goulet walked in, went to the backhand, tried to tuck it under his arm, and Tenorti just lowered the boom and hammered him into the net. Nice Nice play by Christian Ruutu. Gained the line, stretched the stick and puck across to Goulet. Goulet shielding the puck with his right leg, goes to the backhand, and Tenorti just levels him into the net.
The net, in that rule of hitting from behind, the net is judged to be the same thing as the board. So you're exactly right. Could have been called that way. It wasn't. Here's the draw. Darian Hatcher tied up in the near corner. Ruutu jammed it loose to the line. Smith. He leaves it for Ruutu near side. Moves top of the ring, then shoots. Made the save, gave a rebound. Noonan chopped it loose into the corner. Then comes out of there with it. Noonan centered one. It hit a leg to Chelios. And now a penalty is going to be called against Ruutu, I believe.
We'll get an interference call for going through the crease. He doesn't call it on Tenorti. He's going to call this cheap one for interference. So Ruutu is going to be sent off for having some sort of contact in the crease. He's on the top edge of the crease. He's not in the crease. He bumped into Moog. Moog just plays like he was hit. He was never in the crease, Ruutu. His skate was on the edge of the crease and not in the crease. Great play by Moog to draw the penalty. Ruutu just skating on the perimeter of the goal crease. Was outside the crease when he made contact with Moog.
Back to four skaters aside. Here's the draw. Rolled by the Stars, Trent Klatt. Rolling it into the Chicago zone. Now Frank Kuchera. It's Brent Sutter to center ice. He sends it in there. Darian Hatcher leaves it for Paul Cavallini. Going to pass it through a man. He got a lucky hop as it came right back to him, and Cavallini now sweeps it over the Hawk line. Madonna trying to split the defense. Nothing doing. Puck rolled free to the far corner where Klatt is knocked down on top of it. And bodies start falling all over the place. Finally, Kuchera comes away, and the Blackhawks move to center ice. Jeremy Roenick gets the Dallas line. Goulet ruled to be offside, and the whistle sounds.
In 1 second, it will be a power play once again for the Stars, their fourth of the period. Penalty killing has been superb for the Blackhawks. Stars will have their fourth power play in 1 second, and they've had 7 shots on goal the entire first period. The Hawks really having an outstanding start. Different look to the Blackhawks tonight than the game New Year's Eve.
Faceoff coming in the neutral zone. And here's the draw. Control by the Dallas Stars. 1-0 Blackhawks. 3.5 left in the first. As the Stars now work with the man advantage as they dump it in. Over to the far side it goes, held by Tenorti, shooting. Belfour the save, fully outstretched to his left, and he gave no rebound. And again, pushing and shoving around the net. Madonna was there. Hawks trying to move him out of the way, and most times there's been a whistle in this first period. A little pushing and shoving takes place after the fact.
A great save by Belfour, though. It was a shot from the point. They've had all their good chances, other than one by Klatt early on a turnover. Their good chances have been coming from the point. Tenorti got all of that, and if Belfour doesn't get the glove fully outstretched to his left, it's a tie hockey game. Great save on the blast from Tenorti. The 2 previous chances that were good scoring chances came from the stick of Grant Ledyard on the right point, letting shots go that just missed the near post. The Hawks have to be more aware of those point men letting the shots go, especially Tenorti and Ledyard.
Face off to the right of Belfour. The draw to the Stars. Tenorti fires it around the boards. Chelios out dueling 2 Stars to poke it free to Smith. Great work from Chris Chelios, and Steve Smith then managed to clear it. Half a minute for a Dallas power play. Ledyard, long feed on the money to Courtnall. Steps over the Hawk line. Rolled it to Madonna, trying to cut in there. Bouncing puck just over the stick of Tenorti in the slot. He made as much contact with Belfour as Ruutu did at the other end. The play goes on. Here's the Hawks managing to clear. And behind the play, Tenorti getting tangled up with Smith. Now they're in a stare down, and off come the gloves. Smith and Tenorti now come together. They each landed a very short right, trying to neutralize one another. And Smith got in a good right, then so did Tenorti. Two big, tough defensemen locked up here. Steve Smith and Mark Tenorti wrestling up against the boards. And Tenorti got in a couple of short rights. Smith trying to wrestle him to the ice, and now the linesmen move in, having seen enough. And Steve Smith, it appears, may have gotten a little ding around the left eye. 2.5 left in the first. 1-0 Chicago on the Blackhawk Network.
The following penalties have been assessed. Chicago penalty on number 5, Steve Smith. Dallas penalty on number 2,
Yeah, show it.
Mark Tenorti. 5 minutes each for fighting. Time of the penalty 17:20. Chicago penalty on number 5, Smith. Dallas penalty on number 24, Tenorti. 5 minutes each for fighting at 17:20.
Murph gave him a two-hander in the corner. That's what started it.
Did he?
Vicious one. Give him one of these. A penalty-filled first period. Totally expected. Joe Murphy and Tenorti had words. Tenorti was slashed by Murphy, and then Tenorti gave Chelios a bit of a whack. And then Smith came in and gave him a shove. Tenorti gave him an elbow. They dropped their gloves and went at it. And they're both gone for 5 minutes apiece. Penalties coming at 17:20 of the first period. Hawks with a 1-0 lead. A power play goal by Chris Chelios.
Now the Stars, Gagne comes motoring over the Hawk line. Ran out of room there. As Kuchera hammers it off the glass to Noonan. He looks for Horacek, who couldn't find the handle. And now Ludwig cleared it up the left wing boards. Here's Jim McKenzie over the line to Gagne. Peels off on the far side. Dave Gagne tried to center, deflected through to the near board, and Horacek bounced it into the center ice area. Here's Brian Noonan with a long shot up off the glass behind Moog with 2 minutes remaining in the opening period. Shane Churla scooped it out to center ice. Kuchera rolling it back into the Dallas zone. Lemieux a rough ride in the near corner from two Stars. Then Brent Sutter won the puck, got it to the line. Weinrich a long shot. Going to slice it. Rebound Lemieux. And Moog kicked the goal off the moorings going to his left. Meanwhile, Lemieux got a jolt just as the whistle sounded from Churla. And let's see what Koharski has here, if anything. It appears nothing will be called, and Andy Moog got away with dislodging the goal by himself under pressure from the Blackhawks.
Lemieux with some excellent work again in the corner. Two Star players there. He battles with both. Brent Sutter comes in, gets the puck back to Weinrich. Weinrich lets the shot go, misses the net to the near side off the end boards to Lemieux in the backhand shot. And Moog, in his attempt to get to Lemieux's backhander, knocked the net off the moorings with 1.5 minutes left to go in the first period. A quality chance for Lemieux, and Lemieux with some great work in the corner, and then almost gave his team a power play when Churla came back after him after the whistle.
Now the draw to Tenorti, or I should say Hatcher, looking to clear, and he did get it to center ice. Stars flip it in from there. Eric Weinrich up the right side to Dirk Graham. He circles deep into his own end. Graham signals for a defenseman to come and get the puck as the Hawks want to get a breakout organized. And Weinrich has it. Eric Weinrich got to center, threw it into the Dallas zone. He didn't quite reach the red line, though. It's going to be an icing call against Chicago with a minute to go in the first.
Premium on puck handling and the ability to get the puck out of trouble in your own zone tonight because of the physical play, the forechecking style incorporated by both these teams. So the team that can keep their composure when the heat is on will have the best success in this game tonight. So far, Chelios and Weinrich and Smith have been able to do so, get the puck out of trouble, get it out of their own zone. Hawks have had 13 shots on goal to 8 for Dallas, but it's been an excellent period for the road team.
Face-off will be to the left of Ed Belfour. Route 2 and Gilchrist will get ready for the draw. And Route 2 won the face-off, taken by Chelios. Chris Chelios chipped it to center ice. Greg Ludwig throws it right back in there. Into the near corner goes Gagne. Kicked it loose behind the net. And Paul Broughton battling with Chelios there, and Chelios wins the battle once again and rolls it into the neutral area. Here comes Roenick. He steps over the Dallas line, stepped on a stick and went down. And Brent Gilchrist for the Stars, able to send it back to the Chicago line. 20 seconds left in the first. Brent Platt for Dallas, kicking it into the Chicago zone, but Murphy has it there. He takes a look at the clock, sees there's not much time, clears it, and that's going to do it for the opening period. We expected to have many penalties in the first period. We did. There were a couple of fights, lots of posturing after stoppages of play and whatnot. Well, the Blackhawks take a 1-goal lead into the first intermission. Chris Chelios on a 2-man advantage, rifling in his 7th goal of the year from Eric Weinrich, and Joe Murphy at 14:51 to provide the only scoring in the hockey game. There were 13 shots on goal for Chicago in the period and 8 for Dallas. So we're through 20 minutes of play in Reunion Arena. The Blackhawks won, the Stars nothing on the Blackhawk Network.
Check for you real quick.
Hello, hello. Who's down there? Okay. Okay, good. How are things going down here? Looks pretty good, huh?
Not for us right now. We're down 1-0. They got a 5-1.
I mean, living down here.
Oh, living here down to Texas. Yeah, it's going pretty good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
You don't miss home at all?
Well, I miss home a little bit. Yeah. Of course, I miss the snow. I was home for like 5 days for Christmas. It was nice, but
that was great.
yeah, I missed it up there.
Yeah. Okay. How long do you want, Tim? 2:30. Chinese dental time.
After one period of play here at the Reunion Arena, it's the Chicago Blackhawks 1 and the Dallas Stars nothing. A power play goal by Chris Chelios. And with us in this first intermission, the Stars' all-time leading scorer, Neil Broughton. And Neil, I have to ask you, how big of an attitude adjustment was it coming to Dallas from the snows of Minnesota?
Well, I thought it was going to be real drastic. It's worked really smooth. We've adjusted to the climate really well. Of course, it's nice and warm here, 50s to 70s, and sometimes gets below the 40-degree mark. But
is it hard to get up some nights for games?
No, it's nice. You drive to the rink and no snow. You watch people are out golfing. No, it's been great. The crowds have been excellent. They support us well. It hasn't been hard at all some nights to come to the rink. It's been entertaining and fun, and we played well at home.
It seems that everybody in this club is rejuvenated, yourself included. You've been around a long time, and now all of a sudden Neil Broughton seems to be back to the old ways. Is that something that's happened to everybody?
Well, like a few years ago, I kind of went into a defensive forward position, and I've been trying to check and hold down guys like Roenick and some of the top scorers on the other teams. But this year I got 10 goals and 40, or I played 38 or 37 games and a few assists. But basically used for a checker, and can add a point or a goal here and then would be good. But I feel good. My legs feel good. I've had no injuries to my legs. I feel strong, and my mind's good. And when you feel
chances at either end, but the Blackhawks, I thought, did have an edge in chances. They did have 13 shots and 7 chances. Half their shots were good chances, and Dallas with some good scoring chances. They missed the net on a few of them, but they got most of their chances, Pat, from shots from the point. Tenardi and Ledyard both had 2 or 3 good chances as the Blackhawks failed to pay attention to those particular defensemen.
We figured it would be a special team type of game, as certainly in the first period it was that way. There were lots of power play chances for either team. The Blackhawks at one point had a 2-man advantage. They were working the puck around the perimeter, and Chris Chelios, almost reluctant to shoot it, finally decided, I have nowhere else to go, and it resulted in the game's first goal.
The forwards didn't do him any favors. Weinrich and Chelios had to move the puck back and forth. All 3 forwards are in a line across. No one really gave Chelios an outlet, but he was able to pump it by Andy Moog, and that was the lone goal of the period. The Blackhawks, with an excellent period, score on the power play and get a lead against a team that doesn't score a lot. But Ed Belfour was with some excellent saves as well, and that was a key save on Tenardi. As we mentioned, a lot of their chances came from the point. Ledyard had 2 good chances, missed the net on both of them, and that last shot by Tenardi.
We figured Don Koharski would try to set a tone in terms of the officiating tonight. He was calling it very close to the vest. We know both these teams want to be physical. You've got to be smart about it, though.
Definitely, because he's going to call all of that nonsense. 13 penalties in the period, a few altercations, but overall I thought a very good period for both teams. It was physical, it was entertaining, but you got to give the Blackhawks credit. They were a lot sharper early in the period, and when you get the lead on the road after one, you're in good shape.
The Blackhawks just seemed to get their forechecking going, and there were certain times when the Dallas team really had difficulty getting out of their own end.
That's the key. The Blackhawks can only have success when they're forecheck, especially against the guys for Dallas. They have a big defense. They don't have the most mobile defense. If you get on them early, you're going to create some turnovers and get some chances on the second forecheck.
20 very entertaining minutes completed in Reunion Arena. We've had a lot of action and all corners of the rink. The Blackhawks have a 1-0 lead over Dallas. We're back with the second after this.
Can't leave me. I'm lost without you.
That's right.
Good to see you, bud. Yeah. Tomorrow morning. You're to stay after, then meet me down there. We'll have a beer. Otherwise. All right? Take care, bud.
Got a backup. Refills. These things go through. Who is? Who is? Cleveland. Talk block, is that what it is? What is that? Thursday night on Sports Channel, it's the Sports Channel Talk Block. Live at 7, it's Electric Sports with Dan Jiggets and Mike North. And then at 8 o'clock, it's the Back Table with Chet Kopic. A lot of verbiage in those shows.
Here the Blackhawks with a 1-0 lead over the Dallas Stars. We get ready to start the second period. The Blackhawks had a big edge in shots on goal, probably not as big an edge in scoring chances, and Ed Belfour came up with an outstanding 20 minutes to keep Dallas off the scoreboard.
His first save was probably the toughest save he had to make. It was on Klatt and from point blank range, and played very confidently since then. Chris Chelios, in spite of the altercation, really had a marvelous period, scored the lone goal, and was everywhere defensively.
So Jeremy Roenick, Patrick Poulin, and Joe Murphy open up here for Chicago against the Gagne line for Dallas. Don't forget, on Thursday night, the Blackhawks are back on home ice as the busy schedule sequence continues. The mighty Mallards of Anaheim in their purple and teal will be in Chicago Stadium. Thursday night radio only coverage beginning on MVP at 7 o'clock. Here's the draw now, controlled by the Hawks. Russell bouncing one into the Dallas zone. Poulin racing for it. Chipped it in behind the Stars net. Now it squirts free to the near corner. Roenick's there. Tried to center. It hits the leg. Roenick got it back into the corner, and Poulin leaving it for Roenick. Jeremy Roenick got it into the slot. Here's a drive. Oh, and he had Moog beat. Just missed the far post off a nice feed from Murphy. Roenick poked it side of the net. Murphy at a bouncing puck up over his stick in the slot, and out come the Stars. Brent Gilchrist carries it over the Hawk line, trying to get it away from Russell, and he stood him up at the line just enough to create an offside call.
The Hawks almost gave up. It was a 1-on-2 situation. They almost allowed Gilchrist to penetrate, but Russell moved to him and just got enough of the puck to put the offside. An excellent first shift for Poulin, Roenick, and Murphy, resulting in a quality scoring chance. A long shot that just missed the net. It missed by inches. If it's on, it's in.
Now the draw hammered into the Chicago zone. Mike McPhee rolled it into the near corner. Now corralled by Eric Weinrich, who sends it to the neutral zone. Paul Cavallini bouncing it ahead. Hawks clear it quickly to center, and the Stars dump it back in. On the far side, Lemieux gets help from Kuchera, who slides it to center. Now Weinrich in his own end. Clearing it for Lemieux, whose pass is picked off. Hatcher got it to McPhee, shooting it in. Able to get past center ice on this shift. As the puck is back in Chicago territory, kicked out of the corner by Avison with a shot, and a save by Belfour. Rebound to the far point, held in by Ledyard. Got it into the slot, a long shot, and Belfour just got a tiny piece of that blast. Into the near corner it goes, now cleared behind the Hawk net. Here's a centering pass, hits the leg to Graham, couldn't get it out. Johnson a shot, Belfour the save. Rebound trickled just wide. In behind the net it goes, McKenzie. Tied up there by Graham. Hawks with all sorts of problems here of late. Here's McKenzie rolling it back to the Blackhawk goal. Belfour put it to the far side, and finally it winds up at center ice. That's all the farther the Hawks have gotten in the last minute and a half of play is center. Here's McPhee back, or I should say Ledyard over the line, center, and one deflected. They score! Well, the Blackhawks couldn't get out of their own way in the last two shifts, and finally
inability to make an outlet pass. They had position and time. The Stars weren't forechecking. It's just a real poor effort in trying to get the puck into their own zone, into the Dallas zone. But Ledyard, at the end of a long shift, goes out front, and there were 3 Hawk players there, and I believe it was Klatt that surprised everybody and snuck in and beat Ruutu and Goulet to the puck. They weren't paying attention over their shoulders, and Klatt snuck in and tipped it over Belfour.
A 1-1 game. Here's the draw. Taken by Klatt deep in his own end. Puts it around the boards, not out. Held in by Smith. Into the corner. Goulet tried to center. Picked off in the slot by Hatcher. Trying the near side. Chelios trying to keep it in. Modano stripped it away. Here come the Stars. Klatt to the Hawk line. Feed Modano, it didn't click. Into the near corner, it's taken by Craig for Modano. Couldn't pull the trigger. Noonan got to him in time to prevent a shot.
And number 18, Jim McKenzie.
Noonan able to bounce one back to center ice. Ledyard and McKenzie get the assist on Klatt's goal at 2:29. And now Ruutu had his pass picked off. Paul Cavallini looking for Courtnall. He got tied up in traffic. Now Chelios clearing it to the far side. Noonan gets over the Dallas line. Offside is the call. It's early in the second period. It's tied at 1 on the Blackhawk Network. Lost. With Dale Talon, Pat Foley in Reunion Arena, where an excited crowd has just witnessed the Stars tie the game at 1. Here comes Murphy getting to the Dallas line, and Ledyard knocked him down there. Puck cleared to the near board. Chelios will get to it on the near side. Poked it around to the far board. Courtnall has it for Dallas. Poulin managed to tie him up for a moment. Now Tenorti cleared it back of his own net. And the Stars, McPhee deflecting it out to center ice. Russ Courtnall going to get around to check. He beat one man. Now McPhee 2-on-1 looks for Broughton. And the pass just sailed up over his sticker. He would have been in alone. Now Chelios battles on the near board. Now taken down by Broughton. They battle heavily. Finally McPhee got a rough ride from Roenick. Puck came free to the near side, and Chelios managed to clear it, but not out. Here's McPhee on the near board trying to center. Tenorti cuts right in there. Mishandled it as Smith crawled to the ice to thwart the attempt. And now the Hawks will take an icing call, and the Blackhawks have had a host of problems in their own end here in the first 5 minutes of the second.
And Tenorti just took down Roenick as he attempted to carry the puck outside the line. That kept the pressure on. And Tenorti went in on a 2-on-1, and Steve Smith was able to slide in front of it and break up the pass. And Broughton ties up Chelios, and Chelios leveled from behind, and then Broughton eludes a hard check from Smith, and then Roenick comes in and gives McPhee a whack in the face. The Hawks need to pick it up. Stars were a bit flat in the first period. Now it's the Blackhawks' turn to have difficulties in their own zone. They had their first good shift of the period, and then since then most of it's been in their own zone.
Face off in the Hawk zone is corralled by Russell. Left side to Ruutu. Good outlet on the money to Kimball. He gets it into the Dallas zone. Aaron Kimball ran out of room along the boards. Ludwig took it away. Here come the Stars back. Mike Craig into the Hawk zone. Gets around Russell for a moment, and Russell took the feet from under him, and that took care of that chance. Puck cleared to the near side. Ludwig shoots one. Deflected just wide of the near post by Craig. And now the Hawks had to get it out of the zone. Kimball did. Bounce it to center. Stars shoot it in. Russell for Kimball. Going to center ice. And again, right back into the Chicago zone it goes. And Wilkinson gets away from Churla. And he sends Richard Sutter to center ice. He failed to get into the Dallas end. McKenzie the other way. Then McKenzie rolled it ahead. Here's Churla over the line. Shoots one. Oh, Belfour to save. Rebound! Trickle just wide as Belfour stopped the stuff attempt from McKenzie. And the Hawks able to get it back to the neutral area. Lemieux sends it in from there. Comes to the near side and bounces up over the glass and into the crowd.
The Hawks got to get going and get it in deep and start forechecking. Dallas is returning the favor. They've put all kinds of pressure on the Hawks. They've had a lot of difficulty in the first 6 minutes of this second period. Belfour very busy. Churla, McKenzie, and Evison doing all the work here, and they created some chances on their last shift. The rebound attempt deflected off McKenzie and almost snuck into the net, just missing the far post by inches.
Here's the draw now, and Tenorti sliding it into Blackhawk territory. Weinrich controlling. Eric Weinrich threw it up an open side, got hammered by Churla. Here's Tenorti, a shot and a save by Belfour, and he hangs on. And a big gathering in front of the Hawk net. And Eric Weinrich had the puck, and Shane Churla had him lined up, and did he ever unload?
Ladies and gentlemen, the Dallas Stars would like to...
Weinrich trying to go around one check, but Churla had him labeled and knocked him off the puck. Tenorti walks in, and Belfour makes a save, and contact made. Churla and Belfour. Belfour got the stick up in time. No penalties as a result. 13:30 left here in this second period, and the Hawks back on their heels.
Let's give him a hand.
Weinrich has been getting hit, I think, pretty regularly of late in this Central Division. Banging and crashing is the norm.
Now the draw in the Chicago zone, taken by Russell. And Russell got it to center. Brent Sutter throws it in there. Comes to the near side. Graham pushed it into the corner. Lemieux tried to center. Brent Sutter, big save by Moog. A great chance for Sutter. Moog got the right shoulder in the proper spot. Here's Madonna the other way. Wilkinson did well, played the body the whole time, and rides him into the far corner. Flattened him there. Good play by Neil Wilkinson defensively. Now Goulet got it into the Dallas zone. Craig able to clear it to center. Hawks dump it in. Johnson back. Jim Johnson gave it away to Chelios. Centered it. Ruutu shoots. Shot it just wide of the near post. And the Stars clear it back to center. Taken by Noonan. Got it to Ruutu. A two-line pass, and the whistle sounds. 12.5 to go in the second. 1-1 the score on the Blackhawk Network.
Got two chances and missed the net both times.
Really? That was a hell of a save on puck, though.
Yeah. Wow. Hold on to it.
Hang on to it. You never know.
That was a great move.
From the faceoff, it's deep in the Dallas zone. We're nearing the halfway point of the second period without a penalty as yet in this
Stop
session.
it.
Now Weinrich able to bounce it into the Dallas zone. Into the near corner, Noonan. Run for some help from Goulet, who whipped it out to the line just underneath the stick of Kuchera and out to center ice. Now a pass is stolen by the Stars. Gagne gets over the Hawk line, yanked down, and Noonan then unable to clear it, but it's picked up by Kuchera, who rolls it to center ice. And they battle right in front of the Stars bench, and finally it came free to the near side. Roenick into the Dallas zone. Got it into the corner. Goulet centered one just right through the skates of Murphy. Into the corner it goes. Kuchera centering, but he hit the side of the net, and Moog will hold it there.
Goulet's pass, a little too hot to handle. If Murphy was able to corral it, he would have had a one-timer and a chance to take the lead. Goulet in the corner got a bouncing puck and quickly turned as Murphy was coming on a player change. He went to the goal mouth and just missed it. Cooling on the left side with Roenick and Murphy. This line is due for a big outing.
Face off to the right of Moog. 1-1 the score with 11.5 left in the middle period. Here's the draw. Roenick got it to the line. Smith tees it up, lets it go. Moog made the save. Rebound rolls free to Broughton. Neil Broughton cleared it to Corton all over the line. He's got McPhee. The pass in front of shot. McPhee was stopped by Belfour. Rebound came in behind the net. Taken by Smith. And Steve Smith able to roll it to the neutral area. Stars try to move back in. Here's Pinoti with the shot. He fired it past Belfour's glove, but wide, and Hawks able to get it back to center ice. Stars put it into Chicago territory. They were short of center, and icing will be called here against Dallas.
Breakdown by the Hawk defense that time. Both defensemen went to Courtnall, and McPhee was open behind them, and McPhee gloved it, put it to the stick, and shot it wide. Courtnall drew the attention of Smith and Chelios, and McPhee got away. And fortunately for the Blackhawks, he shot it wide after he gloved it and put it to the stick. McPhee with 9 goals in 38 games. It'll get you 15 to 20 goals a year, but it'll give you a solid defensive effort. Former Montreal Canadian.
Face off to the left of Andy Moog. Rich Sutter now playing center with Kimball and Horacek against Evison, Churla, and McKenzie. Here's the draw. Goes over to the far side where players are down on top of the puck and the whistle sounds.
Horacek trying to hammer Jim Johnson along the far boards. They both went crashing to the ice. Horacek coming back from surgery on his back. A long way to get back into game shape after missing a lot of that time. Played 3 games in a row on the weekend with Indianapolis.
Now right off the draw, Horacek took a poke at Churla. Finally Churla comes back at him as they wrestle in front of the Hawk benches. Soon as that puck was dropped, Horacek threw the gloves off. Now here they go, and Churla gets the edge as Horacek fell backward. Nice game to make your NHL debut after back surgery. You know it's going to be a physical contest, and Horacek tried to stir it up there with Churla. And not a lot of damage done either way. Churla might have gotten a slight decision. Blackhawks 1, Dallas 1, midway through the second on the Blackhawk Network. Call too if it is.
There's a penalty for that. Yeah, and for trip also, like that, and for hook like this, and for spear, like that. All that. You do that, you go to the box, 2 minutes by yourself, and you feel safe, and then you get through.
Well, the Blackhawks will be shorthanded. Horacek was going to get 2 for instigating, 5 for fighting in the game misconduct. He and Churla in front of the Blackhawk bench as the puck was dropped at a face-off.
So power play hockey for Dallas.
Their 5th of the night. They're 0 for 4.
And the Stars move out of their own end. Dave Gagne flipped it over the Hawk line. Here's Tenardi at last one. Save rebound. Just eluding Modano. Hit to the near side. Ledyard holding it in there. Out it to the corner. Good hit by Smith to win the puck from Gagne, but he couldn't get it out. Here's a shot. Got wide by Ledyard, and the Blackhawks able to clear. The instigation call is made against Horacek. Something we have not seen a lot of in Blackhawk games, but talking with Brian Burke, the NHL senior or vice president, discipline is one of his major areas of concern. He says that there's about 20% of the fights this year have had an instigator penalty call. Haven't seen it that much in Blackhawk games, but it is enforced here tonight as Horacek is banished for the rest of the game. Here's a steal by Roenick, who's got plenty of time and clears it. 45 seconds to go on the Dallas power play. Here comes Modano up the right wing boards, gets the line, but it's stripped away by Rich Sutter. Sutter poked it loose behind the net to Kuchera. He couldn't get it out. Great job to hold it in by Cavallini. Then he lost the handle, and the Hawks able to move away. Might have a 2-on-1. Rich Sutter over the line on the near side, left it for Murphy to Sutter. Couldn't hold the pass, or he would have had a great chance. Murphy back of the Dallas net, and it's finally knocked away by the Stars. Here's Modano. Stepping into the Hawk zone, offside is the call.
Quality chance squandered for the Blackhawks. Murphy to Sutter, Murphy back to Sutter, the give and go, and then just lost possession of it. Ended up in behind the net, didn't get a chance because of it. Now only 7 seconds remaining. Excellent penalty killing by the Blackhawks this entire game. They're 7 seconds away, the Stars, from going 0 for 5 with the man advantage. Penalty killing has been so consistent and solid all year. They're 2nd overall on the road. They've only given up 13 goals on the road against.
So the face-off in the neutral area. And it's controlled by Dallas. Greg Ludwig sends it in. Meanwhile, the Hawk penalty is over, and both teams are at full strength. Still in Chicago territory. Gilchrist brings it around the boards. Wilkinson chopped that behind the net. Paul Broughton is tied up by Rutu. 4 players dueling on the near side, and Gilchrist and Rutu lock up in the corner. Paul Broughton in there, jammed it free center, a shot and a save by Belfour. Rebound, bouncing puck, Johnson, a shot, big save by Belfour with a left pad from point-blank range, and the Hawks then fail to clear it again. Here's the centering pass. Paul Broughton put it to the slot. Rutu there to steal it. His Christian Rutu tied up in the corner. Stars try to keep the heat on. Now Paul Broughton tried to center. Through to the far corner. Taken there by Johnson. His pass hit the back of McPhee to Russell, who couldn't get it out. Johnson. That his pass picked off, and it deflects over the glass and into the crowd. And you touched early in this period on one of the fundamentals of the game. The Blackhawks are very short in this period passing.
They've been going around the boards at every opportunity, and the Stars have been reading that. They've been pinching in, creating traffic. They've got to make 2 quick little passes. The passing has been atrocious, and they've gotten in trouble because of it. They've been unable to get the puck out of their own zone. They've had possession plenty of times. Even on the goal, they had possession numerous times, failed to clear. They kept going around the boards, around the boards. Sooner or later, they're going to figure it out, and they're going to prevent that clearing attempt.
Dallas 1, Chicago 1, 7.5 left in period 2. Face off to the left of Ed Belfour. Here's the draw. Chris Chelios. Gave it to Graham. There's Graham on the right wing boards. Pushed it to the Dallas line. Courtnall at his feet, picked off. Smith into the Dallas zone. Turns on the far board. Kicked loose into the corner. Ledyard got a bump from Lemieux, who wins the puck. Lemieux on the far side. Centered it. Graham had his shot blocked. And the Stars start back. McPhee shrugged off a check at center as he cleared it into the Hawk zone. Now Steve Smith gave it to Chelios, whose pass misses Graham. Slides the length. Icing will be the result.
The Stars aren't forechecking. They're only forechecking to what's given them. They've only sent 1 guy in most of the period, but the Hawks' poor passing has got them in trouble. New Jersey leads the Islanders 4-3 in the third. Detroit leading St. Louis 4-2 in the second. Tampa Bay in Hamilton, neutral site game against Toronto, 1-0 in the third. Quebec plays at LA. That's a later start. Likewise, Montreal continues on the road. They play in San Jose.
And now they flash a final score. Tampa Bay has shut out Toronto 1-0. So that means if Dallas should win this game, they are tied for first place with Toronto in the Central Division. The shutout for Tampa Bay's Darren Pupa. Pupa whitewashing Toronto.
Pupa perfect.
Here's Mike Craig, a shot. Belfour perfect with that save, and the rebound controlled by the Hawks. Poulin rink wide looking for Murphy. He eludes him into the corner where Hatcher took a piece of him. Now Roenick battling to jam it loose, but Modano comes up with it, then couldn't get it out. Chelios centered. It deflects into the near corner, and Roenick, a backhand pass, hit a leg to Poulin. He centered one up over Murphy's stick in the slot. Now Murphy back of the Dallas net is tied up, but Poulin has it. Gave it to Roenick in the near circle. He lets it go. Shot it up off the glass. And Mike Craig scooped it to center. Chelios broke it up nicely, or the Stars were off 2-on-1. Here's Brian Noonan moving into the Dallas zone. Noonan got away with a pick. Now moves in front. Faked the shot. Forgot the puck behind him. And the Stars able to corral it. Here comes Mike Craig. Got it to Gilchrist to the line. He rolled it in deep. And Chelios behind the net. Looks for Goulet, who leaves it go. And Chelios, a weak backhand clearing effort held in by the Stars. And finally the Hawks able to clear it to center ice. Dallas dumping it right back in. 5.5 left in the second. Still tied at 1. There's Kuchera. Rolled it to center, and a 2-line pass taken by Noonan. Getting to the late minutes of the second. 1-1 the score on the Blackhawk Network.
worst thing that happened to hockey. These guys winning the cup.
Dallas Stars take on Eric Lindros and the Philadelphia Flyers this Thursday, January 6th at 7:35 p.m. Tickets as low as $16.50 are on sale now at Star Center in Dillard's, the official ticket outlet of the Dallas Stars, or by calling 214-GO-STARS.
Tell them not to put it on the big screen. One game with 5:10 remaining. 17 shots apiece. 9 for Dallas in this period, but only 4 for the Blackhawks.
And the Blackhawks had lots of difficulty in their own end during this second period. Here's a lead now for Noonan over the Dallas line. Cuts for the net. Diving poke check by Paul Broughton, preventing his shot. And the Stars come back up the left side with Gilchrist. Works it to the Hawk line. Weinrich took him off the play there. And puck corralled by Noonan, who got it to center en route to. Stepping into the Dallas zone, leaves for Goulet. He's well covered there, and it's taken away by the Stars' Ledyard. He flips it back into the Chicago zone, and icing will be called here against Dallas.
The Hawks are able to finish strongly here in the last 4.5 minutes. They've been in good shape. They've been outplayed in this second period. Passing has been awful, and they've been allowing Dallas to get second and third efforts. The poor clearing attempts in their own zone. Yet it's still a 1-1 hockey game. A good crowd on hand. They've been averaging what, 15,500 per game.
92% of capacity they've had in their initial campaign in Dallas. Here's Russell, a long shot. Moog stopped it. Rebound to the doorstep. Moog sweeps it aside, and on the near board, McKenzie able to bounce it to center ice. Jim McKenzie able to sweep it into the Chicago end. Cam Russell off the glass and back into the Dallas zone. Here's Paul Cavallini. Sending it back the other way. Now nobody can complete a pass. Cam Russell deep in his own end. Leaving for Wilkinson. Now Roenick. He got it away to Graham. Dirk Graham sends Wilkinson to the Dallas line. Wilkinson weaving to the near side. Centered. Poulin had the pass just behind him and was unable to corral it. Back of the goal, Roenick. Got a rough ride there from Johnson, who takes it away. Jim Johnson leads the Stars to center ice. Tips it into the Chicago zone as Dallas peels off for a player change. Chris Chelios gave it to Steve Smith. He sends Roenick on his way. Jeremy Roenick works it to the Dallas line. Got away from Ledyard. Got it to Murphy, but offside was the call.
Stars with 3 and 4 guys back.
Draw now, taken by the Hawks. Chris Chelios fires it in there. On the far side, Neil Broughton cleared it, and it's taken by Courtnall, sliding it into the Chicago end. Patrick Poulin's rink-wide pass hit a leg, and Chelios able to gain possession, stepping into the Dallas zone on the near side, unloads, and a save by Moog. Rebound chopped away from Poulin, who was right between the rings. Now a steal made by Courtnall away on Murphy's pass, but the Hawks able to recover defensively, and play is in the neutral area. Tenorti scooping it in. Roenick and Tenorti jousting a bit, but the play allowed to continue. As As Chelios rolls it into the Dallas zone. Mark Tenorti. Out it to center ice. Weinrich sends Noonan the other way. Gets over the Dallas line to Goulet trying to center. Just missing Ruutu in the slot. Then he put it in front. Stars are there to steal it. Out they come. Trent Klatt with a long shot. Missing the Hawk target. In the far corner. Klatt comes out of there with it. Rolled it to the line. Here's a centering pass that deflects off Goulet. And a great job by the Stars Hatcher to hold it in, or the Hawks were away 3-on-1. Now it is dumped into the Dallas zone. Darian Hatcher put it to the far side. Craig, nice outlet. Here come the Stars. Madonna racing over the Hawks line. A shot. Cleared it by Belfour's glove, but missed the target. And it winds up back in the neutral area.
Good play by Madonna. Quick release, almost surprised Belfour. Almost beat him to the glove side.
1 minute remaining.
Into the final minute now of the second period. We're still tied at 1. Brent Sutter circles at center, then missed Kucher with a pass. The Stars dump it back in there. Here's Weinrich. Weinrich's pass slides by everybody. This will be icing against Chicago. Wow.
I tell you, the fundamentals have really been struggling for the Blackhawks. You can tell. They've been playing so many games. They haven't had a chance to really have a break to practice. Their power play has been off. Their coverage in their own zone. And now tonight, especially, their passing has been off. And that's why they've gotten themselves in trouble, especially on the road.
That a huge factor. How much of a factor do you think that in a game like this are people hearing footsteps?
Well, they might be. They might be less interested in trying to make the commitment a lot of times to accept the pass or to make a better pass. Just like scoring goals, making passes is important too. You've got to finish the follow through and make the effort and be aggressive in your attempt to pass.
Sometimes easier said than done when you know every time you have the puck somebody's going to take a piece of you. That's the way these last two games have been between these teams.
That's why we have had only a goal apiece.
Now the draw in the Hawk zone. Ledyard lost the handle to Smith. He lost it in behind the net. The centering pass from Gagne didn't get to the slot. Belfour, good reaction with the goal stick to block it. And now Dirk Graham gave it to Smith. Shipped it to center. Ledyard broke it up. But unable to advance it in Chelios. Send it into the Dallas zone. On the far side, Smith fires it around the boards, and that's going to do it for the second period. So the Blackhawks and the Stars will head to the final all even. The only scoring in the second period coming from Dallas's Trent Klatt, who poked in a loose puck from a goal mouth scramble. Klatt from Ledyard and McKenzie at 2:29 to put the Stars on the board. There were 7 shots for Chicago in the period. There were 9 for Dallas. 20 shots so far in the game for Chicago and 17 for Dallas. We are through 40 minutes of play in Reunion Arena. The Blackhawks won, the Stars won on the Hawk Network.
Tonight's contestants are Rick, Lori, and John.
Okay.
We'll probably get stiffed here anyway. Is it plugged in? Last time I didn't have it plugged in.
Mic check, Rennie.
Mic check, mic check, mic check. JR, all right.
All right, way to go, Rick. Lori, welcome back. Nice jacket. And our last contestant is Don. Looks like we've got some winners tonight. All right, we'll make this a little bit more.
Get in that seat.
Now, if any of our contestants can make the second shot, they'll win dinner for two and camping.
Yeah, tell them not to put this on that big screen. Why did they do that?
Nice try, Rick. Okay, Laura, your turn.
Huh? All right. Well, we'll just. Who scored the goal there?
And John, you go for it.
Platt. After 2 periods of play, a defensive struggle, a physical contest between these two old rivals. The Blackhawks with a goal from Chelios in the first period, a goal by Klatt for Dallas in the second period. It's a 1-1 contest. And our guest in this second intermission, Jeremy Roenick. And Jeremy, this was expected to be a very physical game. Has it been all that it's cracked up to be?
Well, I think so. I think we all came in here with an attitude that was going to be physical and a rough game, and we have guys going after the key guys, myself and Medano, and just trying not to get them as much chances as possible. We had a good first period and they had a good second period, and it's going to come down to whoever plays the best in the third wins the hockey game.
Jeremy, every time you play Madonna, is there added incentive there to maybe get one-upmanship? I know you played in the World Junior Championships together, and you've probably been pretty good friends off the ice, but two fine stars in the Central Division. Does it give you an added incentive?
Yeah, obviously, you want to get the best of him every time you can. It's one of those situations where he's playing well this year and I'm playing well this year, and we just see who gets on top of each other. It's one of those rivals we have every year, and he's a really talented hockey player. I think if you just watch him on the ice, you see what kind of skills he has. So it's always nice when you can get the best of him, and we're going to try and get him now.
Jeremy, this year, especially in the last sequence, not scoring a lot of goals, but you seem to be dishing off a lot more than other years. Is that something you've really concentrated on?
Well, I think when the puck doesn't go in the net like you want it to all the time, I've been having a lot of bad breaks. Like you saw in the first period, I had a good chance to score, and Mo came up really strong. And plus, you have a really talented guy like Joe Murphy on the wing who's a serious goal scorer coming from the offside to the front of the net, who's got tremendous speed, can shoot the puck. You have to get him the puck as much as possible. So, when things aren't going for you too well around the net, you have to start dishing it off as much as possible and playing physically.
I get the feeling that you and Murphy are going to have a huge sequence coming up. It seems that you're so close in so many games of having some big nights. You get that feeling?
Yeah, well, we've been talking about that the last couple games. We're due to explode one of these nights, and we've been staying patient, working hard, and trying to get as many chances as possible. And for some reason, they're just not going in as much as we'd like them to. But like you said, I think we're due for a big breakout, and let's hope it starts right here in the third period.
JR, a lot of the teams this year have incorporated defensive postures, a 1-2-2 situation with the expansion clubs being successful with it, and a lot of other teams like Buffalo and Dallas and teams in the Central Division play a defensive-minded opportunity. A lot of people are down as far as goals. Do you think that's the reason for it?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think with the emergence of the two expansion teams who have been playing tremendous defensive hockey, I think that's how they've been winning hockey games. And even San Jose and Ottawa have their goals against down this year. And I think the NHL as a whole is kind of brought on the Blackhawks style of strong defensive hockey and really a hard-working physical style of game. And it's cut down the goals dramatically. I don't think there's going to be too many 50-goal scorers this year. And it's going to be interesting to see how the rest of the league handles it.
You've got back-to-back 50-goal seasons. No Blackhawks ever done it 3 years in a row. Does that come into play in your mind at all when things aren't going in the net?
It did in the beginning of the year, Dale. I think, I was in my mind. I would like to get in it, but you still have some games left this year, and I'm not counting it out. But realistically, I'm going to go out and try and work my best and do what's best for the hockey team. And if I go out there and work hard and do my job and play the system as well as I can, I think everything will take care of itself.
Well, congratulations on being selected to the All-Star team. Keep shooting the puck. They'll start going in. You're playing great hockey, and continue good luck in the new year.
I hope so, Dale.
All right, Jeremy Roenick, our guest. We'll be back with more after these words.
back on their heels as the period wore along a little bit better, but there weren't very many scoring chances at either end because fundamentals were a bit lacking.
This will not go to the Hockey Hall of Fame, that period. That was not a very good period by either club, though Dallas was a bit better, especially early. Hawks had a lot of difficulty. The Stars incorporating a 1-2-2 type situation, only one forechecker, but the Blackhawk passing was so poor that it allowed Dallas to get some pressure on second and third attempts, and they finally did get the goal, but not very many scoring chances at either end. The Blackhawks won the first period. The Dallas Stars won the second period. Good burst up the ice by Ledyard, a fine offensive defenseman, carried the puck up the ice, went wide, put it to the middle of the ice. There were three Hawk players there, but somehow Klatt was the one to get to the puck and flipped it over. Ed Belfour into the net, and that tied the score, and that was about it as far as chances.
It seems like this might be a game that boils down to, in the third period, who can stay with their game plan the best is going to come away with 2 points.
I think composure, we talked about it, the team that's got most composure in traffic in their own zone will win this game. Right now, the Blackhawks had a good first period. Dallas had a better second period. The Hawks seemed flustered in their own zone, especially when Churla and McKenzie and the bigger guys are out there throwing their weight around. They need to keep their composure and just wait for a break in the third period.
Who will best answer the bell here in the third period? We'll find out in a moment. We're tied at 1 after 2.
Wow, 4-3.
Detroit?
Look at Detroit, had 17 shots and they gave up 3 goals.
No kidding. Wow.
I only talked to Brian, so. What's the number? 351-9587. Is that what the number is? 591-9587 or
591 food.
really? Drive. Tomorrow on Sports Channel, Chicago Bulls basketball. At 6:30, catch the Bulls pregame show with Steve Cashel. And at 7 o'clock, it's the Bulls and the Orlando Magic. 6:30 Central Time on Sports Channel. And stay tuned after the game. And people listening on WMVP, Brian Davis will be there to take your calls at 312-591-9587. 5-2-2 for the Blackhawks, 2-1-4 for the Stars when tied after 2.
And it's 1-1 as we start the third. Mark Tenorti fired it around the boards, held in by Roenick in front of Murphy, around a check shoot. Moog, a diving save to his right, puck loose to Gilchrist, and he's managed to clear it back the other way. Andy Moog with a dazzling stop after a neat stick handling maneuver by Murphy, enabling him to have a point blank chance. Here's a touch pass ahead for Poulin into the Dallas zone. Patrick Poulin bumped by Ledyard in the corner. Roenick goes crashing in behind the net, but Ledyard comes out with a puck. Grant Ledyard clearing it to center ice. And the Stars dump it in. Chris Chelios wanted to give it to Smith, put it to his feet. Now Smith able to maintain control and turns in his own end. Trying to feed Chelios, missed him with the pass. And the Hawks backpedaling in their own zone because of poor passing. Here's Smith on the near side. He just had to throw it to center. Stars have it there. Hatcher. Bounce one to the Hawk line. Brent Sutter comes up with it. And throws it into the Dallas zone. Paul Cavallini turned around by Graham. Lemieux dug it out to Smith at the line with a long wrist shot deflecting wide. Rebound to Neil Broughton. Broughton moved it to center and Courtnall gets to the Hawk line with a long shot up off the glass. Coming loose on the near board. And Smith got it to Chelios. The left wing boards. Lemieux tried to kick it to the stick, now managed to pick it up. Battles to the Dallas line, was surrounded there. Ludwig took it away. And it's kicked free to the neutral area. Eric Weinrich to Christian Ruutu dumping it in. Jim Johnson on the near side. Got a hit from Noonan, then Goulet had it knocked off his stick. Noonan got it back. Tried to center. Goulet kicks to the stick. Couldn't pull the trigger though in a tough chance. He put it to Ruutu, who flipped it up high. Going to the near corner. Here's a feed for Noonan. Well covered by Johnson. Came loose. Noonan in on the backhand. Pulled down. A penalty. Will be called against Dallas. Here's Goulet in the corner. Michel Goulet moved it out to the line. Weinrich put it across. Kachera takes a look, tees it up, then feeds to Roenick. Back to Kachera to the far board and Ruutu. The Hawk goal is empty now. A bad pass is stolen by the Stars, and the Blackhawks, though, will head to the power play early in the third, tied at 1 on the Blackhawk Network.
One for 3. Somebody's got wintergreen on her. Absorbing Junior. Big crowd.
Is that your lips because you're overworked?
Tonight's attendance, 16,914, a sellout. The Dallas Stars, thank you.
Amazing what a few fights will do, huh? Many of them very good looking.
Yeah, no kidding.
Dallas penalty on number 3, Craig Ludwig, 2 minutes for tripping. Time with the penalty, 2:46. Dallas penalty on number 3, Ludwig, 2 minutes for tripping at 2:46.
Ludwig sent off for upending a necessary penalty. He had to take Noonan down, who was all alone in front, and the Hawks go to the power play.
Here's a long shot from Smith. Bogue made a good save in traffic. Rebound cleared back the other way. Chris Chelios with room to center, then puts Roenick over the Dallas line. He stepped away from a hit from Tenorti, who then made contact with his own man. They both hit the deck at the near point. Smith up the boards to Noonan, side of the net. Roenick walks in front, tried to pass one, it came back to him, and he shot it just wide of the far post. Chelios top of the ring with it, lets it go. Bogue with the glove. He was going down, but reached up to snare that hot shot from Chelios.
With the lone goal, power play goal, when they had a 2-man advantage in the first period, but Jeremy Roenick tried to pass it. It came back to him. He had a stick tied up and just shot it wide of the far post. It went to Chelios on the far side. He peeled away, came back to the blue line and snapped it up, trying to go high to the glove side. Moved down on one knee, was able to reach up and keep it out of the net with the glove hand. Minute 20 left on Ludwig's tripping penalty.
And the draw, Ruutu won it, but got a bad break as it hit his skate and trickled to center ice. Chelios' feed broken up, but the Stars unable to advance it. Here's Chelios, sending it into the Dallas zone. Goulet in the near corner. He plays the man, but McPhee first there to play the puck. Now Goulet got it back, looking for Smith. He's well covered, poked away by McPhee, who cleared it to center. A minute to go in the Hawk power play, as it's dumped back into the Dallas zone. Back of the net, Johnson. Lost the handle. Goulet almost managed to center one, but a quick reaction by Moog snared the feed, and he covered up.
Quick shift for this line, and Roenick comes right back out with Murphy and Noonan.
901 Main Street, Suite 2301, Dallas, Texas.
Goulet,
75202.
4 game-winning goals, and all but one of his goals coming on the road.
Goulet and Captain Dirk Graham are tied for the Hawk lead with those 4 game winners each. Face-off coming to the left of Andy Moog. And the draw to the Stars, Tenorti. Tenorti hounded by Murphy, then Noonan took it away. Noonan far corner, centered it, and Roenick couldn't connect with a one-timer. Puck loose to the near side. Smith battling to keep it in. Got it to Roenick in the corner. Tenorti stepped into him. Now Noonan has it. Walked into the slot, put it back to Chelios. Near point to Smith. He lets it go. That didn't get through. And the Stars, McPhee able to clear. One more quick rush on the Hawk power play. Murphy got it to Roenick over the line into the slot on the backhand center to Noonan. Shot it up off the glass. Rebound to the Stars, and out comes Gilchrist. Brent Gilchrist fires a long shot. Belfour steers it to the far corner, and now both teams are at full strength. Back of the Hawk net, Evison locked up with Chelios. Squirts loose to Paul Broughton. He centered it. It deflects to the near corner, and Steve Smith got it to Chelios. Chelios sending Murphy to center ice. No, Murphy steps to the Dallas line. Ran out of room there. Puck squirts free to Graham, centering. Kuchera got knocked off the puck. Good play by McPhee. Back of the net goes Graham. Graham tied up along the end boards by Hatcher. Now Brent Sutter in there after it. Kicked it loose for Graham on the far side. And again, Hatcher tied him up. Brent Sutter comes out of there with it to the slot. Put it to the deep slot. Here's Kuchera shooting. He fired one wide. Rebound, Sutter in behind the net. Brent Sutter battled to the slot. Out to the line. It's held in by Weinrich. Trying to dance away from McPhee. Battled to the side of the net. A shot at a save by Moog. And the Stars able to clear it to the neutral area. Kuchera back over the Dallas line. Got it to Lemieux. Lemieux's pass hit a leg. And Ledyard feeds Courtnall racing up the right side. In on Weinrich, who played the body, then a shot. And the shot from Courtnall hit Weinrich and went wide. The puck rolled free out to center. And the Stars bring it back in offside. 13.5 to go in the third. 1-1 on the Blackhawk Network.
They lose 5 in a row. No? Yeah, good crowd there. Well, the Blackhawks with some great chances in the first 6.5 minutes. Just unable to get it by Andy Moog. Andy Moog has been brilliant in the early going. Rocked with the power play, failed to capitalize on the power play, did create some good chances.
Now the team's at full strength as Chelios is deep in his own end. Around to the far side. Stars Churla held it in. Bounced it back into the near corner, taken by Smith. Gave it to Chelios for Goulet to center. Bounced away from him. And winds up back behind the Hawk net. Chris Chelios to Smith, out to center. Rich Sutter. It is pass deflect. Chelios got to it, and Sutter might have hurt himself. He took a run at Tenorti and missed him, and might have damaged his ribs on the boards in front of the Dallas bench. Now held in by Murphy, cutting in there, centered it. Roenick had his stick tied up. The Stars McKenzie. The puck is cleared to the neutral zone. Here's Jeremy Roenick. Bouncing one into the Dallas end. Hatcher back. Darian Hatcher threw it to the Chicago end. Taken by Neo Wilkinson. Wilkinson overskating it behind the net. Here's a stuff shot and a save by Belfour on Gagne. Wilkinson again having difficulty controlling the puck. Here's Joe Murphy. Putting it into the Dallas zone. Back of the goal it goes. Paul Cavallini chipped it loose. Wilkinson battled to hold it into the corner. Center one, Roenick. Couldn't pull it to the forehand. Now a centering pass. Comes through to the near side. Held in by Russell. Put it in behind the net. Murphy knocked down there by Hatcher. Puck squirts free to Gagne. And the Stars able to work it to center ice. Paul Broughton got it to Gagne with a long wrist shot. Belfour gloves it easily. Sweeps it to the far side. Ryan Noonan goes around the boards with it. The left side is open. The Stars then, as a result, keep it in. Here's Paul Broughton centering. Pass deflected to the doorstep, and Belfour's seen enough of this. He wants to get a whistle and slow things down.
Belfour has been very sharp. He's had little work here in this period. Only 19 shots total against 2 in this third period. It's been all the Blackhawks in the early stages of the third. Andy Moog has kept it a 1-1 game. 1 goal by Chelios in the first, 1 goal by Klatt in the second, and that's it. Hawks an edge in play in the first period. Stars an edge in play in the second, and so far in the third, it's been the Blackhawks with the edge.
Face off to the right of Belfour, who has a career record against the Stars of 15 wins, just 5 losses, and 1 tie. And a goals against of an even 2 in his previous work against the Stars franchise. Here's the draw. Dumped into the Dallas zone. Lemieux first on it in the corner. Centered one. Moog blocked the pass before it got to Graham. Out the line, Kuchera. Threw it in behind the net. Lemieux centered. Too hot to handle for Brent Sutter. Big feet chipped it ahead. Oh, a great play by Weinrich, or Courtnall would have been able to chase that one down at the Hawk line. Still it goes deep into Chicago territory. They battle in the far corner, and Weinrich kicked it loose to Frank Kuchera. He got it to Dirk Graham to center. He puts it into Dallas territory. Grant Ledyard got it to Madonna over the line along. Wrist shot hit Chelios, bouncing to Courtnall, who centered one. Tipped right on. What a deflection by Madonna. With his back to the net, he redirected it right through his legs, and Belfour had to come up with a good stop.
So dangerous, Madonna. Madonna able to carry it across the line, snap the wrist shot, blocked by Chelios. Deflected to Courtnall on the near side. Courtnall put it back to Madonna. Madonna with his back to the net, redirected it through his legs off the heel of his stick and almost scored. 27 goals, 4 of the 27 have come against the Blackhawks.
Face off to the left of the Eagle. Here's the draw to the Stars. Ledyard, he unloads. Belfour the save, and he hangs on.
Madonna winning that draw cleanly on his forehand against Roenick, and Ledyard, good shot from the point. And Ruutu comes out now to take this face-off. Ledyard has had some good chances. A left-handed shot playing the right point. And Belfour outside the crease fought it off and held on.
Again, they'll get ready to the left of Belfour as Ruutu is on to square off with Madonna. And Ruutu gets the draw to Chelios. Chris Chelios Hold it to the Dallas line. Stars unable to start back. Here's Rich Sutter into the Dallas zone. He got turned around by Tenorti, who takes it away. Sweeps it around the boards. Chelios able to keep it in there, but his pass is picked off. Here they come 3-on-2. Madonna racing around. Chelios gets over the line, cuts in, centered it. Didn't get to Craig, who was alone on the near side.
Excellent play from Steve Smith. Down on one knee, stick flat on the ice, and prevented the pass from getting through.
Ryan Noonan at center. Dropped it to Smith halfway through the third period. 1-1 your score. Here are the Stars shooting it in. Ryan Noonan got it to Neo Wilkinson, beating Goulet over the line along wrist shot. Blocker saved by Moog. Rebound Noonan. Looks for Goulet on the near side. He tried to center. And behind the net, Noonan put it in front. And Ruutu fan of the one-time effort. And it winds back in Chicago territory. Dirk Graham gave it to Ruutu, who was stopped in the neutral zone. Darian Hatcher controlling. And his pass nearly stolen by Graham. Then it is held in by Wilkinson, but his shot went wide. And the puck cleared to the center ice area. They battle away along the near side. Russell able to knock down Churla. And the Stars, Shane Churla, stopped by Russell again along the boards. And the Hawks dump it in there. Hatcher able to bounce one to center. Around there by the Stars. Now a centering pass deflected off the skate of Kuchera right into the goal crease, and Belfour covers it up with no problem. 8 minutes remaining in regulation time. Dallas 1, Chicago 1 on the Blackhawk Network.
Fans, please direct your attention to the Jumbotron for tonight's McDonald's Slapshot Cage winners. Tied for second place at 77 miles per hour, Randy Zeek and Don Tobin. And in first place with 87 miles per hour, David Irving.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Sure. This game has come down to defensive plays. Madonna with a nice move. 2-on-1 situation, but Steve Smith plays it perfectly. Going down to one leg, getting the stick across and preventing the pass from getting through. Smith has had an excellent game, very physical contest he's played.
Now Kuchera deep in his own end. Gave it to Ruutu. He rolled it to the Dallas line. And Everson starting back. Throws it into the Chicago end. Belfour didn't want to give it to Weinrich. The Stars then hold it in as a result. Here's Johnson. Hit the goal post. Jim Johnson fired it off the near post, and it came out. And the Hawks now clear it to center ice. Murphy turning there. Got it to Goulet, who sends it into the Dallas zone. Johnson starts back up the right side to Paul Broughton. He dumps it in. Cam Russell cleared it to center. Dallas put it right back into Chicago ice. Russell, an ill-advised pass is picked off. Here's a centering feed. Cordnall in the backhanded shot is blocked by Russell, who recovered to make the shot block, and now Poulin got it to the Dallas line, but he was stopped there. Russ Courtnall the other way. Carries it into the Chicago zone. Tried to center. Deflected just wide by McPhee. And at the side of the goal, Belfour covers it up.
Blackhawks very cautious in their last few shifts and creating some chances for Dallas. Belfour very alertly freezes the puck to settle things down. You can see Dallas slowly starting to take momentum away. Hawks were dominant in the first half of this period, but Andy Moog shut the door, and now Dallas starting to come on a bit. And the Hawks, again, a few poor passes in their own zone have created good chances for Dallas, and Ed Belfour is able to dodge a bullet. Two guys again overplaying and leaving Johnson alone in the deep slot. Now, Pointman getting a lot of chances tonight for Dallas. The responsibility of the last two forwards coming back. Usually the wingers need to take care of those defensemen, but a shot off the post. It's still a 1-1 game.
Hawks have had lots of success against the Stars franchise in the last couple of years. Last 14 times they've met. Hawks have lost only 3, 10 wins and a tie. But this season, Dallas has given the Blackhawks all they want. 2-2-1 the series coming into this game, and we're deadlocked with 7 minutes to go in the third. Here's Lemieux racing after a loose puck in the Dallas zone. Put it to the line. Smith tees up a long shot. It hit somebody, and the Stars look to break out. Here's a lead for Courtnall, just offside. He was racing at center, would have been in, but was just barely ahead of the checkered red line before the puck.
It was a close call. That's what you have to be leery of, especially the speed of Courtnall up high that time, and he split the defense and was on his way. Smith's shot didn't get through, and Lemieux had a stick tied up, just couldn't get it, and then McPhee, a nice pass, and Courtnall, what a foot offside. I think Chelios would have been able to get there to angle him away, but face off just inside now the Dallas blue line.
(1-1) with 6.5 left in the third period. Here's Smith in his own end. Steve Smith got it to Richard Sutter up the left side, looking for Roenick, who bounces it in there. Back of the net, Roenick comes up with it, walks to the side of the net, tried to center it, hit a leg, and the Stars able to move it out. Courtnall weaving it center right. Courtnall got away from Smith, carried it over the line, fires, it hit a leg, and it's corralled by Smith. Gave it to Murphy. Joe Murphy looks for Christian Ruutu. He's surrounded at the Dallas line. And now Chelios has it in the neutral area. Leading Christian Ruutu. Flipping it into the Stars zone. Randall Ledyard moves it back the other way. And it's going to be an icing call against Dallas. 5.5 left in the third period. Hawks 1, Stars 1 on the Blackhawk Network.
Oh, watch out. The Flower. Neely. He let up on him, too.
Yeah, he did.
5:21 remaining. A 1-1 hockey game.
And a sellout crowd here in Reunion Arena. The third time in the last 4 games they've filled the place up. 16,914 on hand for this one. Face-off coming to the left of Andy Moog. and the Stars control it. Mike Craig failed to clear it. Long turnaround shot from Goulet, stopped easily by Moog, and now the Stars get it to center. Chris Chelios circling deep into his own end. Gave it to Ruutu. Christian Ruutu, right wing to Noonan. Noonan tees up a long shot. It deflects wide of the target. And Mike Modano. He's looking for Klatt, but he's well covered by Chelios. And now the Stars on the near side have Craig clearing to center ice. Modano sending it into Chicago territory. Into the near corner goes Brent Sutter. Now Chelios. Clearing it out to center. Long feed for Graham, getting over the Dallas line, left it for Lemieux. Lemieux cuts in behind the goal, walks back out in front. Center Kuchera bumped off the puck, couldn't pull the trigger, and the Stars look to counter. Jim McKenzie to the Hawk line, threw it into the near corner. Belfour out there to play it. Gets it to Kuchera. He outlets to Chelios. His pass was deflected, and Churla comes up with it, sending it into Blackhawk territory. Frank Kuchera gave it to Murphy into the Dallas zone. Into the deep slot. Murphy got it away from Gilchrist to the far dot. His shot didn't get through, though. Poulin in the corner. Leaves it there. Mark Tenorti angles off Murphy, using his body nicely, and now it's Pride free, but Roenick well covered in front. Couldn't get rid of a shot as the Stars clear it back to the Hawk line. Back into Dallas territory. Down to 3 minutes remaining in period 3. 1-1 your score. Neither team with many good scoring chances the last several shifts. Now Evison bouncing it into the Blackhawk zone. Neil Wilkinson back. Gave it to Michel Goulet. He goes rink wide to Ruutu, who was stopped at center, but Wilkinson carries on, gets over the Dallas line, tried to center, it hit a leg before it got to Goulet. Grant Ledyard able to hoist it to center. Courtnall has it there. Back pass over the line to Neil Broughton. Peels off, waits for help, tried to center. Courtnall rolled it in front, just wide of the far post. And a goal mouth scramble. The Stars just barely missed taking the lead. Hawks send it back the other way. Icing will be called.
Belfour came out to poke it away and almost got beat. The situation was a 2-on-2, but one of the players back was a forward. Noonan did a good job, took Courtnall and left Russell to take the other forward. The puck squirted loose. Drop pass to Jim Johnson on, I should say, Broughton. Broughton waited, put it into the middle, back to Courtnall. Courtnall almost snuck it by Belfour, who took the chance trying to poke it away with 2:18 left. And 21 shots for Dallas, 26 for the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks doing a good job of shutting down Dallas. 5 of their last 7 games, they had over 30 shots against.
Now in the Hawk zone, Brent Sutter battling with Neil Broughton on the boards. McPhee jammed it loose to the deep slot. Hatcher, his shot right on, and a save by Belfour, and he scurried to cover it.
It looked like the Hawks were going to get it out of the zone easily. Sutter was tied up. You had Lemieux in front of him along the boards, but somehow McPhee got it, put it to the pointman again. The pointman open. Hatcher waited, and didn't get much on it. Belfour saw it all the way, fought it off, put the glove on it to prevent a rebound chance. Most of the shots, I'd say 50% of the shots that the Stars have had have come from the blue line. "22 shots, 21 saves for Belfour. 26 shots for the Blackhawks, 25 saves for Moog, who hasn't had a tough save in a long while. He made all his good saves early in this period.
From the draw, Chelios gets organized behind the goal. Fires a long bank pass. He was hoping that Brent Sutter coming on a change would stay by the bench, but that didn't happen. It's going to be an icing call against Chicago. Broadcast rights to this game have been granted to Sports Channel Chicago and Sports 1000 WMVP solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any reproduction or other use of this game without the consent of Sports Channel Chicago, Sports 1000 WMVP, and the Chicago Blackhawks is against the law.
All you thieves out there.
Again, they'll line up to the right of Ed Belfour, Gagne, and Ruutu. We'll get ready for the draw. And not anymore. Ruutu's tossed out, but this is they were starting to get lined up. So now, with only one centerman out there, Lemieux's going to have to come in against Gagne. And they're ready, and Lemieux got the draw to the corner. Taken there by Smith. Left side to Ruutu, whose pass is picked off at center. Bouncing around, and Ruutu able to get it back, but was unable to advance it. Now the Stars, Courtnall to the Hawk line. Chelios got it his way. Belfour strays to the corner and sweeps it to Brent Sutter. Sutter carries to the Dallas line, has a man coming. It's Graham who shoots, and it's saved by Moog. Rebound, Brent Sutter, near point to Smith, and the goal is knocked off the moorings. So the whistle stops the play.
Andy Moog is very good at this. Makes a save, and then bang, continues on into the post, and it's been coming off. Hawks had good pressure even after the save. Brent Sutter with a good rush up the ice. Graham on the off wing, snapped the shot. Moog makes the save, but he got help. Moog that time, a defenseman, when sliding under him and into him. And the net knocked off, and the Hawks still had good pressure. Another chance maybe to break the deadlock with 1:13 left. Finally a face-off in the Dallas zone. Most of the face-offs in the last 4 or 5 minutes have been in the Blackhawk area.
Hawks come out with Jeremy Roenick, Joe Murphy, and Richard Sutter on the left side. Evason on for the draw against Roenick here to the right of Andy Moog. Here's the draw. Rolling to the doorstep. Fred Ludwig is there. Veering to center. Chelios puts it back in. Johnson. Sends the Stars out to center. We're into the final minute of regulation time as Dallas dumps it in. This game even at 1. Now Chelios scooped it ahead. Murphy lost the handle at center. Roenick able to gather it in, circling. Roenick tried to pass it through Modano. That didn't work. Rich Sutter got to it. And was tied up along the far side. Murphy carried on, but offside is the call.
Looked like a good play. Rich Sutter doing some good work along the boards. Took the hit. Got the puck across the line. He and Ludwig tangled it as he almost went through the gate. Looked like Murphy came in behind and was onside, but they must have ruled that Roenick was across the line on this side with 34 seconds left. Central Division is jam-packed. Toronto losing 1-0 to Tampa tonight. Dallas wins. They're tied for first. The Blackhawks win. They're at 44 points and only 5 points out of first place with 4 games in hand.
Now the draw controlled by the Stars. Ledyard in his own end to Tenorti. Puts it up off the glass and safely to center. Hawks throw it right back in. 20 seconds left. Grant Ledyard looks for Gilchrist. Brent Gilchrist fired a long one from center that sailed wide. Paul Broughton in the near corner. Rolled it around the boards. Chelios unable to get it out. Tenorti put it back into the corner, but Dallas will run out of time in the Hawk zone as the clock winds down, and we've played 60 minutes, but it's not enough. The Blackhawks and the Stars head to extra time. We're even at 1 through 3 on the Blackhawk Network.
Followed by a 5-minute sudden death overtime.
Bobby. How's it going? That's a great sign. We'll leave a hockey game.
And it's 1-1 as we start the third. Fired it around the boards, held in by Roenick in front of Murphy, around a check shoot. Moog, a diving save to his right. Puck loose to Gilchrist, and he's managed to clear it back the other way.
Yeah, use that one. Okay. What's that? Pat hasn't got his headsets on.
What's that? Yeah. Do it when they're ready to play.
They're ready to go. They're ready to go.
Five minutes or less of extra time, and the crowd alive here in Reunion Arena as we head into the overtime session. Here's the draw. Ledyard cleared it to center. Cordnall on right wing over the line, unloads, and a save by Belfour, and he hangs on.
Cherry picking.
Tell him that.
He looked real calm and confident. Cordnall with good speed has an excellent shot. He tried to go high to the short side. Belfour gave it to him and took it away. Second overtime contest of the 6 games. Second one in this building. Controversial overtime game. The first time in here. Hawks a goal scored that should not have been allowed with a man in the crease. And they scored late in the game to force it to overtime. Brian Noonan tied it up. It was October 12th. Way back in '93.
Route 2 won the draw to Smith. Steve Smith had his pass picked off by Tenorti. Hawks will regroup in their own end. Chelios got it to Graham. Putting it in there. Mark Tenorti puts it off the glass and out to center. Taken there by the Stars McPhee. Clearing it over the Hawk line. Russ Courtnall to the near corner. And it's stripped away nicely by Steve Smith, who calmly sends it into the center ice area. Chris Chelios got it to Smith. He shoots it in. 1 minute gone in the extra session. As Trent Klatt knocked it away from Weinrich to Courtnall over the line. Russ Courtnall left it for Modano. He flipped it into the far corner. Klatt got a big hit there from Weinrich. And Rich Sutter picks it up, but failed to get it out. Churla into the near corner against Roenick. They lock up there. And the Stars come up with it. Here's a centering pass. Modano had to turn to the forehanded shot. Hit a leg. Bouncing puck. Klatt couldn't find it. And the Hawks do, as Kuchera posts it to the Dallas line. Here's Murphy chasing it down. Cuts in with a shot, but he shot it through the goal crease. And Klatt will safely put it back into the Hawk zone. Here's Belfour tangling with the forechecking Churla. Knocked him down, and the play goes on. Murphy gets into the Dallas zone. Offside is the call.
Kowarski lets it go. That could have been a penalty for interference on Belfour. He saw Churla with the angle on Kuchera, and he would have had a chance to hammer him into the end boards, and Belfour got a piece of him. With 3 minutes and 5 seconds left in OT.
Face-off will be just outside the Dallas line. Now Brent Sutter with Noonan and Goulet against Gagne, Gilchrist, and Evison. Here's the draw. All Cavallini works his way over the Hawk line, bouncing it around the boards. Belfour sweeps it to the near side. Goulet chipped it ahead, now gets it back. Goulet to center. Long feed, corralled by Brent Sutter, cutting up the slot. Here's the shot. Moog, a diving save as Brent Sutter was right in the goal mouth. And Andy Moog saved the game for Dallas. Back come the Stars. Gagne over the Hawk line. Left it for Hatcher. Centering, a bouncing puck just wide of the far post as McKenzie was hauled to the ice by Brent Sutter. Brent Sutter doing it at both ends on this shift. Now the play still in the Hawk zone. Russell got it to the far side, and Wilkinson sends it back into the Stars zone, and icing going to be called against Chicago with 2:14 left.
Oh, what a great effort by Brent Sutter. Split the defense, had it at his feet, kicked it to the backhand, pulled it to the forehand, and Andy Moog, with the save of the game, makes a brilliant save to keep it a 1-1 game. Goulet with the puck, flipped it to Sutter. He gloved it, put it to the stick, got past both defensemen. They were both backing up, not turning, and Sutter split them and almost tucked it under Moog, who went from right to left and prevented it from crossing the line.
Face-off will be to the right of Belfour this time. Ruutu on to square off with Modano. And Modano got the draw. Here's a drive. Fired wide by Courtnall. Comes to the near point. Ledyard, a turnaround shot. Missed the net. Back of the goal is Ruutu. Put it to the near side, and Graham chipped it to center ice. Stars throw it back in. Here's Chelios with 2 minutes remaining in the game. Dirk Graham on the left side. Hammers it into the Dallas zone. In the far corner, it's taken by Lemieux. Tenorti stepped into him. Now a pane of glass. Look out. Partitions have come loose. Now Tenorti and Lemieux get the sticks going. And Tenorti starts swinging away at Jocelyn Lemieux.
He might be gone. Well, it's only a minute 41 left anyway, but he started swinging first. It'd be interesting to see the call. It will be additional 2 and 5. But the Stars will end up losing their top defenseman for the last minute 41.
Meanwhile, there were all sorts of things coming out from the glass right in that far corner. The partition might have broken. I'm not sure what happened, but 2 different stanchions came loose and went crashing to the ice. Somehow the glass did not topple over on either players or fans.
Customer Tenorti and Lemieux bang and crash in the corner. Donald with a good hit on Ruutu, then Tenorti, who takes a piece of everybody. They have a stare down. Lemieux slashes him. Tenorti takes a poke at him. They both take pokes at each other, and away they go.
Vicious.
Penalties have been assessed. Chicago penalty on number 26, Jocelyn Lemieux. Dallas penalty on number 24, Mark Tenorti.
So coincidental penalties to Lemieux and Tenorti, 5 each.
Chicago penalty on number 26.
So the Stars do lose their top defenseman with 1:41 left in overtime.
Now St. Louis has battled back. They were down by 4. It's a 4-4 game in the third period.
Face off in the Dallas zone. Squirts free to the near side. Goulet. A long wrist shot deflecting up high. And it was knocked down with a stick above the shoulder. So the whistle sounds.
Goulet and Jim Johnson having words. He's been very quiet tonight, Johnson. A lot of stick work in the game in Chicago. He and Goulet in words, but no penalties, and the face-off stays in the Dallas zone. And again, Bob Gainey, as he did in the game in Chicago, sending out a surplus of players, trying to confuse the official to get the players on the ice that he would like in the last change.
Face-off will be to the right of Andy Moog, who came into the action with 290 career wins. 290, 131, and 61 his career record. Face-off to his right. And the draw captured by Dallas's Jim Johnson, but he failed to get it out. Smith at the line, a long clip shot goes wide, and Ludwig He's hoisting one over the glass and into the crowd. Well, the Hawks again will maintain good ice position here with a face-off deep in the Dallas zone.
Evason won the last one against Ruutu. He won it cleanly, but Johnson failed to clear. Well, Brent Sutter now comes out to take Ruutu's place on this face-off. Goulet and Graham the wings. Brent Sutter very nearly put this game away in the midway stage of this overtime as he had a marvelous scoring chance as he split the defense. But Andy Moog with the save of the game. Smith and Chelios have switched positions so that they could be on their forehands in case it comes to them. Better angles to shoot the puck.
Sutter against Evason. Sutter got the draw, and Chelios was ready to tee it up when Graham stole it away. Shoots, he scores! Graham! A turnaround wrist shot from the blue line, eluding Andy Moog into the top corner of the net. Past him on the stick side. The Blackhawk captain with his team leading 5th game-winning goal of the year. And with 1:14 to go in OT, the Blackhawks win it.
Brent Sutter winning the draw, and I bet you if it doesn't go in, Chelios would have had something to say to him. He was ready to pull the trigger, but Graham stepped in front, circled to the blue line, and wristed one over Moog under the crossbar and into the net with 1 minute and 14 seconds left in OT. Big win for the Blackhawks. 3 wins of the 6, 3-2-1. They win the season series in a very important win on the road. Brent Sutter replaces Ruutu to take the draw. Wins it. Graham takes it. Chelios is ready to pull the trigger. He did attempt the shot, but Graham turns and then snapped the wrist shot. Brent Sutter had won the draw, went to the front of the net. Evason let him go, and he was able to, with Hatcher, to screen Moog on the high wrist shot. Well, Dirk Graham, just a snapshot, and Moog never saw it till it was by him.
The 9th goal of the year for Dirk Graham, and does he pick the right time or not? 5 of his 9 goals have been game winners, and the Blackhawks come away with a 2-1 overtime win over the Dallas Stars. Shots on goal in the 3rd, 2 for Chicago. Their total is 31 for Dallas. Their total just 23 shots. Dirk Graham the game winner from Brent Sutter at 3:46 of extra time. And the Blackhawks win the season series by 3 wins to 2 for Dallas and 1 tie. And overall for Chicago, their 20th victory of the year, which is the same number that Dallas has. The Hawks are now 20-14-4 to move 6 games over the 500 mark. Much of this game was not pretty, but it certainly was hard played, and the Blackhawks come away with a deuce.
Good road game. Good first period, a little sluggish in the midway part of the second, though they were outplayed, didn't give up many chances. 3rd period they came out storming. Andy Moog kept it close. Belfour with some key saves in the second half of the 3rd, but key effort by Brent Sutter to win a draw after he split the defense, very nearly won it on his own, and then Dirk Graham finished it off. A great road win and a very interesting finish to a 6-game series. It's amazing that it's already over. Imagine how if this had continued on into the late stages of the season, how much of a great rivalry would have been developed.
Well, it's a shame. Once again, the NHL schedule at fault for allowing this series to be played entirely in the first half of the season. These teams should be meeting down the stretch, but it won't happen this year. Blackhawks winners tonight. Don't forget they're back on home ice on Thursday when the Anaheim Mighty Ducks come calling. We'll be on the air on MVP radio only at 7 o'clock for the Blackhawks and Anaheim on Thursday. And once again, the final score tonight, the Blackhawks 2, the Stars 1 in overtime on the Blackhawk Network. Goulet to center. Long feed. Corralled by Brent Sutter. Cutting up the slot. Here's the shot. Moog, a diving save as Brent Sutter was right in the goal mouth. And Andy Moog saved the game for Dallas. Back. Hello, hello, hello. 1-2.
Yeah. Sure. I guess so. Well, Brent Sutter played a really good game tonight.
Well, Smith and Shelley too again.
Yeah.
Blackhawks winners in OT tonight by a score of 2-1 over the Dallas Stars, and many heroes in this game that wasn't pretty, but when the game gets to be a tough and a grinding type game, certain players usually stand out. Who's our player of the game tonight?
Well, there were many to choose from. I thought Brent Sutter had an excellent game. Chris Chelios had a dominant performance, and Steve Smith, Ed Belfour, many players played very well. But the captain, Dirk Graham, gets the player of the game. He scores the winning goal. And with 1:14 left to go in overtime, Dirk Graham, another inspiring performance.
Oh, the Blackhawks pick up the victory by virtue of Dirk Graham's overtime game winner. But prior to that, the Blackhawks almost won the game in overtime as well. And let's take a look now at our Xerox save of the game. Goulet to center. Long feed. Corralled by Brent Sutter. Cutting up the slot. Here's the shot. Moog, a diving save as Brent Sutter was right in the goal mouth. And Andy Moog saved the game for Dallas. Temperature never drops below Xerox. Andy Moog dropped to his knees to thwart Brent Sutter in overtime to keep the game alive for a while for Dallas. But it was an inspired effort by the Blackhawks throughout. Even when they were floundering a bit, especially in the second period, the desire was there. They just didn't have the fundamentals. Some of the passing really was short.
Well, you knew Dallas was going to come out and play better in the second period. They were dominated, I thought, by the Blackhawks in the first period, and I think Bob Gainey might have had something to say about it. They came out. The Blackhawks had some poor passing, had some difficulty getting out of their own zone. But Dallas, you have to give them credit. You're not playing against pylons out there. Dallas is a very well-schooled team and a well-disciplined club. They made it very difficult for the Blackhawks to get going, but the Hawks got better as that period went on. At a good start for the third period, Andy Moog made some key saves, and Belfour returned the favor late in the third period. An inspired win, an excellent road game. We figured this was going to be a physical contest. We weren't disappointed. I thought Koharski called a great game, considering this could have been a messy situation. Called 13 penalties in the first period, set the tone, very few penalties from there on, and it was an excellent road win for the Blackhawks.
Well, let's take one more look at the game winner and enjoy Dirk Graham's efforts after the face-off win for Brent Sutter.
Brent Sutter replaced Rutu. Chelios thought he was going to shoot, but Graham stole it from him and then turned and fired, and Brent Sutter went to the front of the net, and the snapshot over the shoulder of Andy Moog under the crossbar. Great winning goal for the captain.
Couldn't have gone any higher or any wider. That was very much in the toppest corner of the net. Is that a word, toppest? I doubt it, but the Blackhawks have escaped with a 2-1 victory tonight, and our next Blackhawk game on Sports Channel would take place on Saturday afternoon. The Blackhawks meet the Washington Capitals. Pre-game shows for both TV and radio starting at noon on Saturday. Don't forget the mighty Mallards are in Chicago Stadium on Thursday, radio only at 7 o'clock on Sports 1000. Now for Dale Talon, Pat Foley, hoping you enjoyed the broadcast. We know you enjoyed the outcome. The overtime game winner for Dirk Graham propels the Blackhawks to a 2-1 victory. The preceding has been an exclusive presentation of Sports Channel and WMVP.
Shot from there. Ciccarelli on the doorstep. He's tied up by Basson. Under 45 seconds to go. Ciccarelli in front. McCartney to Lidstrom, and they score. Detroit wins it. Dvorsky's being surrounded. He says it counts. The Red Wings are celebrating. Hold on.
He signaled the goal, Tom, but I thought it might have gone off his skate before it entered the net.
No goal. No goal. I don't believe. Now the Red Wings are upset. Maybe Dvorsky's just going over to check with the goal judge.
Well, he's going to have to go over and check with the goal judge anyway. Barry Smith, the assistant coach for the Red Wings, is on the ice at the blue line talking to a linesman.
He's calling upstairs. There's no doubt about that. He's making the phone sign. This is what replay was installed for, moments like this.
And the National Hockey League has done a very good job at this. I mean, instant replay only doesn't take very long. You see one sequence, hopefully. You look at it. Clearly, it went off his skate. It looked like it might have been redirected before going through the legs of Curtis Joseph.
I thought it counted myself.
I thought that Dvorsky signaled right away, Tom, that it was a goal, but it looked like one of his linesmen might have gone in towards him, because after he had that little huddle, he came out signaling towards the penalty box.
No goal.
Brett Hull has said no goal.
No goal. Well, there's Matt Pavlich Supervisor of officials, the goal judge is Jerry Burt. Let's take a look at it.
Pass from Primo. He's putting it towards the front of the net. It goes off Lindstrom, and then left skate of Dino Ciccarelli. And Bobby Basson looking around thinking it might have been a goal right off the bat, but watch the left skate of Ciccarelli. Clearly World Cup action right here. Skate off Lindstrom, bang. He got it off his left skate.
You know what? I think Lindstrom was guilty of kicking the puck there.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter, though.
But I don't think Ciccarelli, do you think he did that on purpose with the skate?
Well, I mean, he looks like he's moving it towards there. If he did that on purpose, then he's got some great feet. And that would be a tremendous move right there by Dino Ciccarelli.
I thought it...
Clearly the rules say, you know, kicking the puck in,
right, I understand
redirecting it on purpose.
Intent is a key, though, isn't it, Darren?
Intent to kick it in.
That's it. Well, I'm not going to question the referee's judgment there. I just find it interesting.
Well, why they're making, I think, here's why I think they're deciding on it, is because of the follow-through. As you look at Ciccarelli, okay, Lindstrom kicks it to Ciccarelli. Now watch his left skate. Now watch the follow-through. See, he looks at it.
Yeah.
And then it looks like he is doing it in that one motion. It looks like he's redirecting it. Cujo's scrambling. He doesn't even know where the heck it is. Watch Cujo's reaction. He's seen, see, a goaltender sees only the puck. That's all you look at the entire time. So he probably had a good view of the skate of Ciccarelli, and his automatic reaction is, that was kicked in. And he's got to be happy he got the call. Hey, the Blues have got some calls in this third period anyway.
Now let's not lay this on Paul Dvorsky. He did the right thing. He wasn't sure. He went up to the goal judge. The goal judge here tonight is Jerry Burt. And he, with Matt Pavlich by his side, they made the decision. So it's their decision. If you're angry with it, don't blame Dvorsky.
No, that's exactly right, Tom. Very good point. That's why they put the responsibility upon the shoulders of the instant replay official. Jerry Burt had that. Matt Pavlich was in the box as well.
That was a tough call. I mean, I could see either way, but
that was a real tough call.
If I was the goal judge, I would have allowed it, but that's just me. So, play on. 36.9 seconds to go in OT.
Now we got Fedorov, Yzerman, and Ciccarelli up against Shanahan, Basson, and Ronnie Sutter.
Well, the Wings were all celebrating on the ice. They were on the way to the locker room. The Blues at center. Blues have it at Shanahan. He'll dump it in. Coffey behind his own net. Lidstrom off his stick. Ciccarelli has it for Detroit. 15 seconds to go in the hockey game. Coffey. Both teams may be content now to get out of here with a point. Yzerman at center. 5 seconds to go. Fedorov. Time for one more shot. Wheels around. He's taken down, and that'll do it. So, final 4-4 tie. The Blues salvage, and I mean salvage a point tonight against Detroit.
Well, they sure do. I mean, they had no emotion entering this game. And second and third period, though, was a lot of emotion. Tremendous hockey game from the second and third periods on here.
And in Detroit, all the folks watching in Michigan will say, we should have won this game. Ciccarelli will say it. The goal judge said no. For Darren Pang, I'm Tom Mees. It's been a thriller from St. Louis. It ends in a 4-4 tie. Talk 2 is next. Good night.
Numbers. From day one, our lives are filled with numbers. Some are good. A lot you can do without.
On a couple of occasions, a couple of games through the match, half a dozen double faults, and under the pressure of serving for the match, entirely possible that he'll produce one or maybe two more. And Wally Mercer would
not a shocking number. That's
right. No, that's right. I mean, to me, numbers. Yeah, big deal.
Bill, I got a question. You got these two, right?
Yeah. One's one side, one's the other side. Yeah. Yep. Is that? But okay.
Did not make the All-Star team, right?
Right. I don't think so. No. All right. Well, you know what? If you put complete seasons, we were going to knock those down by one. You know what I mean? Well, it was sixth. No, it's sixth. They're in their sixth season. If you put complete seasons as the heading, you look up Brian Leach's bio, and it should say 5 complete years. You know what I mean? He played a few games at the end of his first year. And the numbers. Yeah, we want it as small as possible to make our case. 17 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he's played 5 complete seasons. Yep. Players with the longest tenure. Complete seasons, it should say. Yeah, that's great. Longtime Rangers, players with the longest tenure. See this?
Yeah. That's amazing.
For less than 3 full seasons. I guess I'm not standing. Okay. Yeah, Gordy and Mark are going to be there. That's going to be cool. Yeah. Zubov is tied in assists, huh? He's tied with Galley and Ray Bourque. Yeah. Post game. Yeah. I thought Gary says Hasek, but I've always said Hasek.
Right?
Yeah, Hasek.
SH.
But then again, when he played in Chicago, Pat Foley used to call him Hasek all the time. Well, she's a brick, put it on a house. Doo-doo-doo-doo. He's mighty, mighty. Yep.
I don't like that, the matchups. And you know what? It wouldn't be that. That wouldn't be the matchups. It's the first 2 place teams in each division. 2 is not New Jersey. That's not right.
That's right.
2 is not New Jersey.
Hey, that last graphic was wrong about the playoff matchups from the Eastern Conference.
You gotta have.
It's Pittsburgh.
The mic's not open. Can you hear me?
All right.
Well, the number 2 ranked team is the Pittsburgh Penguins because they are the first place team in the Northeast Division.
That's a good point.
Yeah. That's wrong. Yep. It's got to be Calgary, number 2.
You have cards for me? You have cards, man. Can you ask them, the 2 guys they show on the basketball graphics, they can put their names here. We're getting Grant Hill for North Carolina for Duke. All right, just like to have their names if they're up there.
You know Vinny Cicino? Yeah. I guess if we don't do a rehearsal, we ain't gonna get one.
Well, that's what we're doing now.
Well, we better mount up.
He doesn't part-time stuff? Are we leaning?
I think we'll lean. We'll crush this thing if we lean. I don't know. We'll see what they want.
So, Bill, I'm going to start one of these, right? Tug on you.
We better get in the shot. Make sure you get in the shot.
All right, well. How long are you going to wait? 5 seconds?
No, I'm going to say hi, everybody. Bill Clement, welcome to ESPN2's Fire on Ice. Tonight, the Rangers and the Calgary Flames. A couple of teams that really have one similarity, and by that time, you should be.
Okay, but I mean, you want me to wait for the first shot after the welcome?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to say welcome, MSG. game on defeated street. The Rangers bring it tonight. You know, come on. Hi, everybody. Bill Clement. Welcome to ESPN2's Fire on Ice.